At the boot camp, do they teach you how to apologize if you say something that you shouldn't on the air?
Good
I
question.
love a good media apology.
Yeah.
No, they didn't. I
You
think
want to role play it real quick?
Yeah.
Like,
Why?
let's just
What
say
do
you
we
accidentally
apologize
you
for?
called Justin Herbert a motherfucker accidentally during a game.
You meant to
no,
say
Zach
Zach Wilson.
You meant to
Yeah.
say it was Zach.
Yeah.
And he said Justin Herbert. You're like, sorry, he actually did not have sex with anybody. I'd like to apologize. All right, so 3, 2.
On today's Part of My Take, we have Super Bowl winner Jason McCourty, also now the host, one of the co-hosts of Good Morning Football, on the show in studio. Talk about his career, talk a little NFL preview with him. Great interview. We also have Who's Back of the Week, the Mt Rushmore of things that it sucks to be late to. Correct? Is that how did I phrase it correctly?
I think so.
Things you don't want to be late to.
Don't want to be late to. And that is also the debut of Team Hank by himself because he completely stabbed everyone else in the back and threw them all overboard. We have some real football to talk about, College Football Week 0, and a great show coming up to you in a second, brought to you by our friends at Skrill. Skrill is the perfect digital wallet for gamblers because it was built for gamblers. Sophisticated gamblers use it to manage their bankroll, whether they're playing games like poker or betting on their favorite sports. They manage their bankroll using the wallet, which allows them to pay instantly and securely its payments without limits, basically. And you can access your bankroll with instant deposits and withdrawals, and also draw the cash using your prepaid card. It is perfect for all the gamblers out there. It's about to be football season, so get hooked up with Skrill. Make sure you sign up at skrill.com/barstool to create your free account and complete the account verification by clicking follow the game after registering so you can start using their digital wallet today. Skrill.com/barstool to create your free account today and complete that account verification by clicking follow the game after registering so you can start using their digital wallet today. Thank you to our friends at Skrill. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Part of My Take, presented by Skrill. Go to skrill.com/barstool to create your free account and complete the account verification by clicking follow the game after registering so you can start using their digital wallet today. Today is Monday, August 29th, and Nebraska is not back.
Well, Nebraska is kind of very much back to
Scott
what
Frost.
Nebraska's been doing. Scott Frost on the hot seat already. If he wasn't going into the season, he is now. I saw an interesting stat. This was on the CFB football Reddit account on Twitter. They said after yesterday's loss, Scott Frost is now 15-30 at Nebraska. Bo Pelini was fired after going 67-27. Mm-hmm. If Frost wins his next 50 games in a row, he would still have a worse record at Nebraska than Bo did.
Oof, that's tough. So real football is back because we got to watch real college football on Saturday. Scott Frost, God damn it, that guy just keeps doing it to himself where every year it's like the Nebraska's good. They got a great, new defense. They got a lot of transfer portals, new quarterback. What are they going to do this year to fuck themselves over? Oh, how about go up by 11 and then try an onside kick when you have all the momentum? And the best part about it is, do you know that Nebraska, this is actually the first year under Scott Frost that they have a special teams coordinator?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they finally installed a special teams coordinator. Scott Frost also finally gave up play calling duty, and part of when he gave up play calling duty, asked what he's going to be doing. He said, quote, "I'll be able to go over and help with special teams as they're taking the field." So Scott Frost probably called in the onside kick, and on top of all of that, he has an offensive coordinator for the first time. It's not Scott Frost, and he already took one game for him to throw his offensive coordinator under the bus. He said, "I think our offensive staff has to learn you've got to be a little more creative in this league." That's after one game.
So that's a lot like what Mike McCarthy used to do.
Right.
Which getting an offensive coordinator and then giving him play calling responsibility is actually great for a head coach, especially one that plans on losing a few games, because then you can always take back the play calling responsibilities and be like, I'm going to fix this one. It hasn't had enough Scott Frost input. So that's what the real issue is.
He shuffled the deck.
So when you said that he just got a new special teams coordinator.
No, he just got a special teams coordinator.
Yeah. So
let's make sure
for
we're
the first time,
very specific here.
They're innovative in Nebraska.
Yes.
They now have a person who's in charge of special teams. I think Scott Frost might not have called that onside kick because it's like, you know how when people get air fryers and all of a sudden they just start air frying everything, and that's the only way that they cook now. So that's like having a special teams coordinator. Now you have a guy who's in charge of that. And so now he's going to like go overboard and have too much input.
Yeah.
So maybe Scott Frost needs to not only take play calling responsibilities back from the offensive coordinator, but also from the special teams coordinator.
By the way, air fryer side note, everyone, when we did our leftovers draft, they're like chicken wings. You got to pop them in the air fryer. You're just recooking them.
Yeah.
That doesn't count as a leftover anymore.
Agreed.
That's not in the spirit of the debate. People were like, air fryer, dude, air fryer. It's like, well, yeah, of course, if you recook them, if you refry them, yeah, they'll be good.
Yeah, as a man that loves chicken wings, who would like to be buried under 6 feet of chicken wings when I die, I will be the first to tell you that chicken wings not a good leftover at all.
Not a good leftover. Yeah, Scott Frost did say if I had it over, I wouldn't make the call. So he did.
That's good.
He did kind of cop to the onside kick, and I just like that we get these random college football games where every now and then when they play overseas, you get media that has nothing to do with college football. So an Irish media member asked him point blank if he would think about stepping down as coach.
Fuck yes.
And he said no. But
they call it
great that the question was asked.
They call it sacked over there. Yeah. Will you be sacked after this game?
The guy, some Irish guy, walked into the fucking news conference and was like, "Wait, you're the coach and you did all that? I don't even follow football, but you should step down."
I wish he had asked him, like, do you regret not having your offensive line puke more during practice to prepare them for Ireland? And they also had the free beer. Yeah. Because the internet systems went down inside the stadium. So in Ireland, they were giving out free beer to people, which is incredible. I don't think they would ever do that in the United States.
Right.
They would just, like, if you can't make money off it in the United States, they would just be like, well, nobody's drinking then. In Ireland, that's better than Christmas, Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Whatever holidays they celebrate over there. St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, we had a great cup snake. It was great to see football is back. And so, Scott Frost back on the, I mean, like, that's the worst part. We talk at length about, as a fan, you don't want to be a primetime game. If you're Scott Frost and you're a Nebraska fan, you don't want to be the first game of the entire season and have literally everyone who has just been like begging for football for 9 months is going to watch that game and come away with it being like, damn, Scott Frost is a moron.
It's also crazy that they would call that onside kick in the first game of the season because it's not like you have tape on their special teams and you're like, oh, this guy runs back no matter what and puts his head down on a kickoff. Scott Frost was just like, you know what? He was trying to make a play out there.
Yeah. And it was also just a perfect dichotomy of Scott Frost, who should have all the talent, and going up against Northwestern with Fitzgerald, who's just an awesome coach. And I did see that one Nebraska fan, I think it might have been parody, but I'm just going to hope that it wasn't, was tweeting that, of course, the Irish refs helped out Fitzgerald. So,
Fitzy. Never bet against a Fitzy in Ireland.
Yeah, they was like, that's why this game went this way.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was it was a good way to start the season. I like having games in weird locations to start the season. They should play a football game on an aircraft carrier.
I knew you were going to say Battleship.
Yeah. I love that when they start college basketball on a fucking aircraft carrier. How sick would it be to have a football game on one?
Yeah, it would.
That's back this season, by the way.
Yeah.
One in San Diego.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. All right, so other news. We missed on Thursday. We taped early. Aaron Donald assault again. Mm-hmm. It's actually great because it's grown to a point where Schefter, I think he did say assault again. He did actually fact check and was like, under actual laws, this is assault. And now he has his ESPN colleagues being like, this is just football practice. Like, not realizing that Schefter's now in on the joke.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Like, he knew how ridiculous the first one was, so he doubled down with this one. And I saw someone on NFL Live being like, people who like, this is what happens when you have football practice in training camp and two teams going against each other, fights happen, which I totally agree with. But like, let's give Schefter is joking now.
Yes, he's joking. But,
correct.
Well, it's funny. He's joking because he knows the assault punchline is a thing.
Right.
But I actually think if you gave him truth serum, he would be like, yeah, it is assault.
No, well, it is.
Technically,
he's technically
by the letter of the law.
Yeah, he's not
assault.
wrong.
Unless it's Aaron Donald should be allowed to do it. Aaron Donald can do whatever he wants.
Aaron Donald, that guy is so scary for mostly on the field, but then he'll just be like, training with knives and swinging two helmets at people.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, okay, so he's just going to be scary, kind of not I mean, I guess it's still on the field, but it's kind of off the field because they weren't playing and he was just swinging helmets at people.
My favorite part of that entire situation was how McVay walked up to him and was like very calmly putting his hand out like Chris Pratt in Jurassic World, being like, whoa, big fella, easy Aaron. And Aaron's just like huffing like the Hulk with two helmets in his hand.
He was one step, Sean McVay was one step away from taking out like a tranquilizer dart. Like Aaron Donald's going to kill us all.
Put him down.
But it is crazy because people were like, Myles Garrett got suspended 6 games. Like, yeah. This was practice. Fights happen in training camp. I wasn't shocked to see. Yeah, maybe you probably don't want Aaron Donald with 2 helmets in his hands. But if you're like Aaron Donald gets in, tries to fight entire Cincinnati Bengals team in joint practice, and be like, duh.
Well, also, when Myles Garrett did it, it was against Mason Rudolph.
Yeah.
And so everyone was like, yeah, he's got a punchable face. I can understand that.
Right.
And Aaron Donald in this situation was taking on the Bengals, who he just beat in the Super Bowl. So you kind of have like, there's a difference there. I don't want to victim shame Big Cat, but I'm very clearly victim shaming Mason Rudolph.
I'm 100% on Aaron Donald's side in that he probably is like, this sucks that I have to keep going through practice and training camp. I want to play real games. Give me a helmet. I'm going to swing it at someone.
I'm very much on his side, just like I'm on the side of the robots that will eventually take over this planet.
Right.
Like I want to be on the right side of history, and next time I find myself in a room with Aaron Donald, I want him to know that I do not hold this against him. I'm on your side no matter what.
Yes.
Please don't hurt me, Mr. Donald.
Yes.
And it's interesting because now I think in a game where it was Myles Garrett that did that, one, it was in a primetime game, which made it way more visible.
Thursday night, yeah.
At the end, everybody was watching the game still. So that falls under the jurisdiction of Roger Goodell's fake cop policy in the NFL. In practice, I don't think that's a league call, is it?
No, it's not.
I think it's
teams.
It's a Rams call.
No, it's a total Rams call.
So the Rams,
yes, they're not going to.
So the Rams get to decide whether or not the best player in the NFL should be allowed to play in games for them.
I think the Rams will probably have someone go up to Aaron Donald and be like, "Hey, we were thinking maybe just finding you like $10,000 just for show," and he'll be like, "No," and then be like, "Okay, yeah, we agree."
Yeah,
like sounds good.
Or just like say that you're sending him to anger management.
Yeah.
Talk about your feelings for 30 minutes.
You don't want to send Aaron Donald to anger management.
No,
you want all the anger.
He would beat up the therapist.
Yeah, and you just want him to be angry all the time because that's why he's the best player in the NFL.
They should send him to reverse anger management and have somebody just like low-key insulting him and poking him with a cattle iron, just getting him more and more angry.
Yes. All right, other things. Preseason is officially done. Thank God. We're done with it. It's every preseason is the exact same way where week 1 happens in preseason. We're all excited. This is cool. And then we're just like, fuck it. Let's get to real football. Like week 3 of preseason is a total fuck it. Let's just get to football.
Yeah. This isn't even the dress rehearsal. That's the one thing that I miss about having 4 preseason games is week 3 we'd always say, oh, this is the dress rehearsal.
Right.
The starters are going to play a half. They just threw that out the window entirely. I wish somebody would do a correlation of like if there is any possible relevance to how your team performs in the preseason compared to the regular season.
Well,
if we have enough data on there, I would assume that some nerd has taken a look at it and come up with a formula saying like statistically, if you don't win a game, you're X amount less likely to make the playoffs.
Right, and it's also all done just like narratives that you just take. Like people will last year remember Aaron Rodgers with the whole holdout and everything, and they got killed by the Saints. And everyone's like, oh, yeah, look at what he did, and then they won MVP. So it's just whatever narrative you want to go with.
Last year, the Rams went 0-3.
There we go.
So Commanders.
Commanders, Super Bowl, Terry McLaurin, we called it.
Bears went 3-0, so did the Jets. That was big, Billy.
Huge. Chris Streveler won all 3 games.
Yeah.
Streveler,
yeah.
Joe Flacco looks great. The highlight of the preseason, this is a highlight that I hadn't even seen till we started down.
We had to make you aware of it.
We sat down to tape part of my take. Poe, the Ravens mascot, getting carted off the field after injuring his leg in was it a halftime?
Yeah.
It was like a halftime like football players against mascots.
Yeah, and he credit to Poe, which I expected him to do this, but still needs credit to not take off the mascot head when he gets on the cart.
Yeah.
Because you could, like a lesser mascot will take it off and be like, there's a human under here. No. You keep that on. I hope he keeps it on for surgery if he needs surgery on his knee.
Yeah,
you keep it on forever. That's what you do when you sign up to be a mascot.
So I'm not a doctor. I have examined the film in slow-mo. I think he's faking it. I think these mascots, they do this. You saw Blooper, like he knew that the cameras were on him.
Blooper is just fucking assaulting kids.
Being a bully out there.
He's a fat fuck. He's just ashamed of himself.
He's fat, but he's also
a fuck too.
He moves quickly for a big man. But Poe, I think Poe's faking it. I watched the tape over and over again. I saw the left knee. Nothing out of the ordinary happened with the left knee. Watch the video. Slow it down if you can. There's no buckling of the left knee. In fact, I don't think birds have ACLs or PCLs or anything like that. Billy will fact check me on that, I'm sure, quite accurately. But I do not see anything in this video that says that there's an actual injury. I think he's milking it for the views. I think he's an attention whore. I think he's a me first kind of guy.
Yeah,
but he's a good mascot.
But he did keep the helmet on.
He did.
Or the mascot.
And the lady was starting to pet his beak as he was going into the tunnel. Yeah.
I loved it. It was great. Anytime a mascot gets hurt, or like we've mentioned it before, Jackson DeVille or the Nuggets mascot who, like, I think passed out while being lowered.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to keep the head on and just let everyone think that it's just an actual mascot, not a real human being under there.
Yep.
We don't want to have the illusion be broken that we have to actually feel bad for a real human being tearing his ACL. We want to just think Poe did.
Dude, if you get seriously injured in a mascot outfit, it's still funny.
Yes,
it's very
hilarious.
Funny.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers should be in jail. He went on Joe Rogan. I'm gonna have to go through this interview with a fine-tooth comb, but he admitted to doing playing games on Percocets, which is just a tradition, I think, for Green Bay Packer quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was very obvious when he slips into the Southern accent.
Right.
Those are the games that he's on Percocet.
Yeah. What else did he? I mean, he obviously said that he was trying to fake everyone out with the immunized. We knew that immunized comments.
Mm-hmm. So he said,
I'm gonna have a lawyer go through the transcript and just get an entire list of all the things that are felonies that he admitted to.
What's shocking, though, if you had gone back in time, like a year, maybe let's just say like 8 months after the immunization thing happened, and you were to say Aaron Rodgers goes on Part of My Take before he goes on Joe Rogan, you would have gotten like plus 2,000 odds on that.
Big time.
Amazing.
He said that there was the NFL brought around stooges to talk about the vaccine, and he said to Joe Rogan, I mopped the floor with him. And I just thought that's exactly how Billy thinks every interaction happens in his life, where he's like, yeah, I mopped the floor with those guys in this argument.
Yeah, I think if Billy took ayahuasca, he would actually be very similar to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, they would have
in a lot of ways. Almost the same amount of Super Bowls.
Yeah. He only has you beat by one, but you still have time. You have age on your side. I'm trying to think what else happened. Anything else that
the Brian Robinson thing just happened a couple hours ago. So he got shot in a carjacking attempt. So like apparently he's going to be okay. But anytime you get shot multiple times, it's not a good thing.
I'd say no.
I hope Colin Cowherd doesn't go on the radio tomorrow and talk about how he deserved it. That's all.
And people talking about their fantasy teams online, as always. We're in that season right now, right before the season starts, and any type of injury or like tragic thing happens like this one, and just like clockwork, some fucking moron's going to get online and be like, oh, sick, I handcuffed that.
It kind of sucks, too, because like when I saw the news about him getting shot, obviously my first reaction was like, I hope he's okay. This is a tragedy that happens to him. But then I started thinking, like, when other players get injured, my mind usually goes to things about football. But when it's something, it takes something this serious to realize that there are human beings out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope he's doing okay. We are an anti-carjacking podcast after all.
And anti-gunshots.
Yes.
Gunshots are bad.
Yeah, usually.
Yeah, I'd say they're very bad. What were you gonna say, Billy? You sprouted up.
I'll save for two. Who's back?
Okay. All right. Nice. You got a couple who's back.
Oh, like Rory.
That. Rory's back. Awesome golf final like round. Scotty Scheffler just completely choked it away. I think he was 5 strokes to
Huge
start.
choke job.
Huge choke job. But Rory,
sportsmanship.
What? Oh yeah, he went up to Scotty Scheffler's.
He apologized to his parents.
Yeah, that's kind of a son cucking.
That's
on
a
his
subtle
part.
emasculation.
Like going up to someone's dad.
You would do that, Jake.
Yeah, you do that. He went up to Scotty Scheffler's dad and was like, "I'm so sorry."
From your son.
Yeah.
What was it, 18 and 6.5?
Yeah. And Max got 3.
Yeah,
and
Max charged for top 5. Yeah.
I'm not
That's gonna be my
saying
who's back.
I'm not saying that we're like matchmakers, but a little birdie told me that Max and our Pervert of the Year and Blake of the Year went out to dinner and had a great time, a budding friendship.
Yeah, they were spotted on the course.
Yeah, no, I know. They went out to dinner after, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they had a great time.
Max told me that Blake's advice to him was just straight up, the Pervert of the Year is a great stepping stone to maybe one day become a Blake.
That's true. I'm trying to think what has...
Not all Blakes are perverts,
No.
but not all perverts are Blakes, but all Blakes are perverts.
It's like when you look at like the eventual like when a team wins a World Series and they go back and they're like, well, they had an incredible farm system like 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. If Max ever wins Blake of the Year, it would be like, well, yeah, he won Pervert of the Year back in 2022.
He's hot. Yeah,
he was building something.
Exactly.
Clearly, he had a program that he was establishing.
He's adding to his resume. Dude, he shot a 62 on Friday.
Yeah.
Like it's honestly
and still didn't finish top 10, right?
It's a little. No, he did.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Top 5. Did he finish top 5?
Yeah, because Scheffler choked.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, and he was talking about it too, but there was controversy, not controversy, but it's the only championship where the leader starts with more strokes.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right.
So Scotty, he did choke. He had a two-stroke advantage and still lost.
Yeah, he choked big time.
Yeah, it was a big. There's no sugarcoating that.
No, it was a
if
choke.
if you're the supposed number one player in the world, you should be able to put that away. But credit to us though, because we're the first people I think on the planet that told you that Rory McIlroy was playing the best golf of his career before the season even started.
And Jay Moynihan probably is so pumped that because Rory's been the most vocal PGA Tour guy.
PGA rigged?
Interesting. PGA might be rigged is what I'm thinking. Also, I saw our friend Barstool Banks had a blog he reposted, but why does the PGA Tour not do the big check? If they did the big check, they would kill the live.
Yeah,
and they just made a giant check to give to Rory. Like, that is a perfect case where you show up, Rory wins, I'm talking like half a basketball court check.
That would be nice.
And just like, here you go. Here's $18 million, because the bigger the check, people are going to be like, holy fuck, look at that check. Like, I want Rory, when they do those simulations, like, look how small the Earth is compared to the galaxy. I want to look like that when Rory's standing next to his check.
It would also be sick if they just had an actual Brinks truck
Yeah.
that drove all the money out onto the green.
It's just WWE now.
You like drive it onto the
money in the bank.
Better,
have a ladder at the 18th hole.
Have Tiger have a few pops, get behind the wheel of the Brinks truck, and he speeds it out onto the green.
Doesn't hit the it doesn't hit the brake.
Not at all. You have to catch it. You have to jump on the back of it as it's going past you, and then his ex-wife is chasing with a 7-iron.
Mm-hmm.
I think we just fixed golf.
It. Yeah, we fixed golf once and for all. But yeah, that was some great drama down the stretch. Anytime a guy chokes in golf, like on a Sunday afternoon, it's instant, like, gotta turn it on.
Yeah. I mean, Scheffler's kind of earning a little bit of a reputation as a choke artist now.
A little bit. And Rory was the choker, and now he passes it off.
Yeah.
So good for Rory. All right, let's do who's back, and then we'll get to Jason McCourty. Then we'll get to Hank hijacking Mt Rushmore season and making his own team. And before we do that, a quick word from our friends at Visible. Hey guys, we've been talking about Visible for a while now. We're going to keep talking about them because they keep getting better. Visible starts at just $30 a month for a single line plan, taxes and fees included, no family plan needed. You get unlimited data, talk, text, and hotspot with 5G included, which is great. Plus, they've upgraded their network so you score better than the best experience. All powered by Verizon. Yup, that network. I've been a Verizon guy for a very long time. Set yourself up for a wireless win. Join Visible today. Switch today at Visible.com. 5G ultra wideband available only on the Visible Plus plan for data management practices. Learn more at Visible.com. Additional terms apply. Check it out. Visible starts at just $30 a month. Get the best plan out there with Visible. They are making sure that everyone has you need great wireless service. Football season. Don't be the one lagging. So Visible starts just $30 a month. Switch today at Visible.com. All right, who's back of the week? Hank.
My who's back was Max. That was my who's back of the week. The 62 on Friday, bogey-free golf. That's obviously he didn't win, but that's big
I've come close.
Big time players. Big time players making big time plays.
It's big. It's huge.
And then my other who's back reality TV, PMT YouTube, just YouTube in general.
Yep.
We're 2,000 people away from 400,000 on YouTube. We put out the Mount Rushmore Everest video. I don't think we talked about that on here. And we have a whole mini disc golf series coming out.
Yeah,
Yes.
I usually don't go back and watch the videos that we've made because I'll see like the highlights and stuff and the clips that we get made. But I was very curious to see what the Mount Rushmore equivalent, how that turned out. So I watched most of it. It's just as intense as I remember. I can't believe we didn't die out there.
I would say that if you're scared of heights, if you're someone who gets queasy easily, don't watch that video. Just let it play so that we get the actual views. But what an accomplishment. Another round of applause for us.
Great job. Also, the scene where Billy started talking about how dogs can't run long distances,
Which is true.
and immediately gets countered
And
with
just-
That is
what
not-
about the Iditarod,
Billy
Billy?
coming across as I think I
That
said
is
it in the
true.
video, he's the jock Dwight Schrute the entire time. Is just great for everyone else to see.
You guys would have got lost out there.
Billy.
Oh, yeah, we definitely would've.
I
You
also,
guys didn't read the trails.
I love how you still don't acknowledge the fact that the Iditarod is a race that only dogs can accomplish.
Right.
Right.
But
Yeah, exactly.
Just read the book Born to Run. It's about running. And
You
how
read the whole
humans-
book?
I read the whole book.
The whole book.
It was a really good book.
And does it say that the Iditarod does not exist?
Humans can outrun horses in long distances. It's a thing. Trust me.
Okay.
What about that the Diablo movie where the horses like race across the desert?
There's
What about that movie?
horse marathons.
Okay.
Wait, there are horse marathons?
There's like,
But they
there's,
finish
like,
slower than
multiple-
humans?
Yep.
That's tough to believe.
Dude, that's imagine what a
26.2 miles. A
Not
horse.
the fastest humans, like the average human.
No, not an average human.
You're not talking about the average horses then.
Right.
Humans were able to run farther distance over time, and that's why they became the apex predators.
But dogs can run the
What about
Iditarod,
thumbs?
and humans can't.
Yeah,
You know
thumbs
what?
helped a lot
I'm not going to be
too.
able to explain.
Also,
this to
our
you
brains
guys
had something to do with it,
because
probably.
you
And
guys-
weapons, the wheel.
Fire.
It's a thing.
We invented
Yeah,
fire.
there's a bunch of stuff we did.
But then on the Barstool Sports main channel, Surviving Barstool Season 2 is
Yes.
coming out all week this week.
Yes.
It's good reality TV, fun for the whole family.
We have a horse in the race with Rudy. Pardon my cheesesteak. Check it out. We had him wear the shirt, paid him, and he's been eating cheese. He ate cheesesteak all week, so hopefully he wins. Okay, PFT.
I got a couple of them. My first who's back of the week is Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's back. Sorry, Bill. You can go ahead. All I just want to say is I think Tom Brady
Looks great.
Yeah. Thank you, Hank. Thank you for bringing that up.
Looks young.
I think he looks just crazy young. I think he looks
Insanely
like
young.
abnormally young right now.
He looks so young he could be maybe on Real Housewives of Pick a City.
It's kind of wild that he took the last couple weeks off with a mystery absence, and then he came back, and his face just looks real young.
No, dude, don't worry. He had a deviated septum, so he got that fixed because of breathing.
Oh, okay. He's
Yeah.
probably also been drinking a lot of water. I know that helps you look
Yes.
15 years younger at
Yes.
times.
So young.
Real young.
Incredibly young.
Spry.
The quote was, when asked what's going on, he said, "I'm 45. A lot of shit going on."
I'm going to defend him on that. Like, the older you get, there's just shit going on. I think that's just like until you retire, you just have shit going on where it's like, yeah, I got to go deal with some. Like if I had like 4 days off where I could just break from everything, I could get a lot. Like there's a lot of shit I could do that I've been like neglecting.
And I'm sure, like, Giselle is probably like, come on, we got shit going on. You don't have to go to training camp. You're
Right.
fucking Tom Brady. He's like, yeah, you're kind of right. I can probably not.
Giselle
go to
was like,
training
yeah,
camp."
like Tom, we need you at home, and also your eyebrows need to be redone.
And also, like, your face moves too much and shows too much emotion when you think and talk, so maybe we could do something about that.
Yeah, right. So that
He's going to have a great poker face, though. No one's going to know if
that's
he's...
true.
Yeah, if he's going for it, if he's faking the hard count or what.
Yeah.
Sound jealous, but that's all right.
Honestly,
looks really young.
Honestly, yes. Hank, you got me. I am jealous of Tom Brady. He's the best football player of all time. He's married to a supermodel, and he's got like $700 million in the bank. I will be the
And
first
he's found
person-
a way to not age.
Yeah, somehow.
It's incredible. It's all incredible.
Ponce de Leon
But I do
did
agree.
that too in Florida.
I do agree that a lot of shit going on. Like I felt that when he said that.
I'm going to be honest. I think he looks gaunt. Like the definition of the word gaunt.
Okay.
Okay,
It's the only way I
we'll
can
put that
describe
in the log.
Yep. Gaunt. He's
Gaunt.
gaunted.
Yeah. Gaunt.
Yep.
We know.
Got it.
Yep.
Got
All
it.
right,
He's gone.
what else?
My other who's back of the week is French soccer because they're already imploding before the World Cup, which gives Italy a nice little window. They're their main competition over in Europe, and every 4 years during the World Cup, France just like they they get into this mode where they hate each other right when the World Cup training starts. And you have players that are like sleeping with each other's girlfriends, trying to stab each other.
Didn't they just win?
France?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was 4 years ago.
18.
Though. Yeah. But Paul Pogba, one of their stars, is now accusing his two brothers and a giant gang of extorting him and holding him hostage and trying to get like $15 million out of him for providing protection for him for the last like 7 years. So it's a fucked up situation. He says that one of his brothers hired a witch doctor to put a curse on him, which this does not bode well for
France.
El Tri. I think that's what they call themselves, right?
I don't know.
The red, white, and blue. I don't know. Whatever they're going to lose. That's my prediction.
I assume you do know, and you're saying it as a joke.
I think it's El Tri. I know that they're the Roosters. They have the rooster.
I'm gonna have a hard time getting into the World Cup this year.
I'm in. I'm in already. But I'm officially putting. France is a no bet for me this World Cup.
I agree with you on that.
Yep.
That's absolutely true. All right, I have a couple who's back. Love is back. Conor McGregor posted Instagram story today of his wife giving him head on his boat.
Oh, that's sick. Like Pam and Tommy.
Yeah, it was really nice. So no actual nudity, but I mean it was very clear what was going on, and it was the top of her head and the views of the boat. I don't know why he did that. I think he just was like, I haven't trended in a while.
Wait, was the boat moving? Was the motor on?
It was docked, and he was just like getting the views and then a little bit of her head, and like there was a moment where you could see his legs were spread out. So yeah,
I love that.
Back.
I love that. Yeah, like it's a consenting couple. They're deeply in love. We need to normalize that sort of thing.
Yeah, it was quite.
Maybe he was just doing an accidental close friends that he posted on the main story.
Yeah. I really do think he's like, hey, honey, like no one's been talking about me recently. Can you just give me some head and I'll just get the top of your head real quick?
Or even, I think it would actually be worse if she wasn't giving him head and he was like, can you just act like you're giving me head so I can put this video out here?
Yes. Also in boat news, James Harden throwing a cake off the boat was fucking hilarious. I don't know if you guys saw that, but he got a birthday cake and he just tossed it right off the boat. So I think the Sixers might be back.
That's sick. Did he hit the water? Ben Simmons would have missed.
Yeah, Ben Simmons would have missed.
Little Baby also gave him $250,000.
I did see that, which it reminds me of like that scene from Donnie Brasco when they just give each other money for Christmas.
Yeah.
And then he asks him back for like, he's like, hey, can I get some money back? It's got to be really cool when you have rich friends. You're like, I'm just going to give you $250,000. And then hopefully when my birthday comes around, you give me $500,000.
So if you're James Harden wealthy and you get $250,000, do you like take it seriously? Do you
Strip
go
club?
No,
do you go stash it or do you spend it that night?
No, it's basically Little Baby being like, let's go out.
He's like, I want to spend $250,000 tonight. Can I just give it to you?
And get credit for a birthday present.
And then you get to give it, and then I'm also the hero that gave you $250,000.
Correct.
Did I tell you about the
Smart
time?
move.
Have I said this on the show when I saw Lil Baby?
Pissed next to Ed Sheeran?
No, in Atlanta. I did do that though. He couldn't pee next to me. But in Atlanta for the Super Bowl, we were driving down the street that had all these different like strip clubs on either side, bars on either side, and a fucking helicopter lands in the parking lot of the strip club. I'm talking like a helicopter is landing in a parking lot from the sky, and then all these people get out, and it's like a camera, a lighting crew, and a microphone guy, and then another guy holding a blinking sign that says Lil Baby.
Love it.
And then Lil Baby gets out of the helicopter and he just walks into the strip club.
It's a great way to enter.
It was pretty cool.
Badass. And then my other last who's back is Foul Ball Guy. He's back. He's got the internet all upset.
For what?
He posted a video. The ushers at Coors Field told him that he couldn't get out of his seat. And he had like a little back and forth. And then obviously everyone, being losers that they are online, said that Foul Ball Guy's the worst. And like they defended the ushers. Foul Ball Guy's not the worst. He's actually the greatest foul ball guy catcher of all time. And then I did like someone was like, dude, you probably didn't play baseball. And he's like, I actually batted .724 my senior year. So dunk
Also,
on him.
like, does that apply to everyone? No one can get out of their seats?
That was his point. He was like, you're clearly making this rule for just me. And it was just him because they can't keep him down. How about maybe get better foul ball or home run catchers to compete with him?
Why are we calling him Foul Ball Guy still?
He's
home run guy.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him catch a foul. He forgot his roots a little bit.
No, he did actually just catch an Ichiro like commemorative ball tonight.
In foul territory?
Yeah, in foul territory.
Okay.
Fucking badass.
Wait,
he catches balls everywhere.
Was it close to the foul pole?
No, it looked like it was kind of
Well, he does. He goes
behind the
different
dugout.
places. He got
Yeah.
a pregame routine.
He gets everything.
I would
he
like to
moves
see him.
around.
I would like to see him either get back to his roots a little bit and catch a foul ball every once in a while.
I think he's just ball guy.
or he's just ball guy or home run guy, which is fine. He's the greatest home run guy to ever do it.
He's the greatest at everything.
Yeah, so I did see him trending on that, and people were mad. Some people were saying that he was running over people to get the balls.
That's always a myth, and he does not run over people. You just have to be faster.
Yep.
That's just simple. Okay? If you get run over, that's your own like terrible athleticism. Maybe lose some weight and get out of his way.
I also like the tweet that he put out where it was just like pictures of him, like hanging out with kids.
He's
and
the Pied Piper.
He's signing foul balls.
No,
for kids.
yeah, he's the Pied Piper of baseballs.
Yep.
Just get in line. You'll get a ball. All right, Billy, you're who's back.
So in the spirit of Jake's Fire Fest, we didn't cover all of my who's backs, but a lot of them. So I was looking for new who's backs as we covered all my who's backs, and it was on Twitter. Guess what's back?
What?
Game of Thrones spoilers, because they're just live on Twitter. So you gotta stay off Twitter when Game of Thrones is aired.
Okay.
That's one.
I
people are
really
mad?
don't. So I didn't watch the original Game of Thrones. I watched all the seasons up until the last season, like before, like I was late to it. And I get the spoiler thing, but like it's Game of Thrones. Like everyone's gonna die. Your favorite character's gonna die. Spoiler.
And since this is a prequel, we already know what happens after this, anyways.
Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like it sucks. It sucks to get spoiled, but it's also one of those shows that like everyone's gonna die because that's what they do.
Yeah.
They just kill. They make you love someone, then they kill them.
Yeah, the person that you love the most will die.
Will die.
The person
Horrifically.
the person that you hate the most will have sex with their sibling
And then die.
and then die.
yeah.
Maybe while
when
having
you
sex.
start to love them.
Yes,
Because
yes.
you're like, oh,
Right.
that's the new king.
when they realize the error of their wicked ways from before.
You're like, actually, I kind of like this guy now. I'm dead.
And then once you find yourself going like, I don't know, 30 minutes without somebody dying, then everybody's going to die.
Great show, though.
by a dragon.
By a dragon. Great show, though. But yeah, everyone's going to die.
Also back with that is George Martin is doing like press interviews, and he's talking about how he wants to do all this different stuff with in the Game of Thrones world, and everyone just gets mad because it's like finish
Dude,
the book.
Yeah, finish the book.
Also, what's his name? George R.R. Martin?
Yeah.
He's like a massive Jets fan, too. George R.R. Martin, come on Part of My Take to
Yeah.
discuss everything you have going on and mostly the Jets.
Yes, agreed.
And my other who's back is MILFs. Young Gravy was at the VMA's carpet and kissed Addison's Ray's mom, which is great because we have these MILF shirts on sale in the Barstool store. And they say, man, I love football.
That's
and
great.
As the MILF guy at Barstool, it's a great shirt.
That is a
we
great
have a
shirt.
Zach Wilson edition as well. Check it out in the Barstool store.
Love it.
Nice. How's your boy Mincy doing?
Not good.
Okay. Jake.
My who's back is Hawaii. Little
Yeah.
League World Series champions for the fourth time.
Talking about
Did
football?
you see how bad they got beat?
Yeah, in football, but
Well, I mean,
Oh,
they're
so
playing
World
an
Series
SEC.
champion.
That was a really tough. I was at a bachelor party, so I went to sleep early on Saturday because I got back home. Oh, breaking news. What do we got, Hank?
Sitting down, PFT.
Yeah?
The Cowboys are releasing Ben DiNucci.
That's fine. They're giving more time to catch on somewhere else. Gucci DiNucci, JMU legend.
Backup
Nice.
QB job between Cooper Rush and Will Greer.
Oh, Will
Go
Greer.
Will Greer, yeah. Shout out to
Greer's
Will
been
Greer.
great.
Will Greer.
Yeah, Ben DiNucci's going to be fine, man. Like, you saw that interception that he had when he got to start that game. The sidearm off-platform throw. It was sick. It was an amazing throw. Just a better play by the defender, who
Yeah.
was also, like, halfway standing out of bounds.
But Hawaii, yeah, that was. So I went to sleep early because I got back, and I was like,
Yeah,
I
they
got to
got
sleep.
smoked
And I
by
had
Indy.
Hawaii plus like 8, and that was a tough score to wake up to. 63-10. They were up 7-0 too.
yeah, but they won the Little League World Series.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
They outscored opponents 60-5 in 6 games.
So they're representing the United States.
Yes.
In the Little League. Okay.
They won. They won the whole thing. They
Oh,
beat Curacao.
Curacao.
It's over.
Yeah. So
Oh, yeah.
World
Fuck
Series
you,
champion.
world.
Yeah.
USA, baby.
Yeah, we
I
did
love it.
again.
They won Mercy Rule, walk-off Mercy.
Oh, that's so
innings.
embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're
Curacao.
bad for Little League World Series.
60-5 in 6 games. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Now you know what? I love that team.
Yeah.
Go USA.
I wish they could play football. Like I wish the Hawaii Little League team feels like they could have covered a spread against Vanderbilt.
Yeah. It's like
I'm
that
just
debate
like,
again.
Yeah, just by the dominance that you've told me, like I bet you they have some kids that are probably big kids.
Island
right?
boys.
Yeah, they could fuck someone up. Is that your only who's back?
My only one that hasn't been taken.
Oh, okay.
Oh, what else got taken? You had Conor McGregor getting ahead.
No. I had Zach Hampel, I had Rory McIlroy, and I had mascots.
Oh wow!
A lot happened
Yeah.
this
Yeah, a lot
weekend. Yeah.
By the
A lot
way,
happened.
I'm laughing internally, imagining the conversations that Billy's having with Ben Mentz, like teaching him how to keep his job.
Yeah.
Like teaching him how to like really. Now you got to buckle down, Ben. Now you
Yeah.
got to be like post the Monday morning time to go to work tweet at like 11:30.
Only go to the Friday Widespread Panic show. Don't go to the Saturday one. College football's on. That kind of stuff. Some big time coaching.
Buy the MILF shirts if you like Ben.
Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, let's get to our interview with Jason McCourty in studio. It's brought to you by our friends at Game Time. Game Time is the exclusive ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Game Time is a ticketing app that makes it easier than ever to score last-minute deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows, and they guarantee the lowest price. I'm very excited for football season, as you probably know. I'm going to go to some games this year. I'm going to go to Iowa State week 2. Some other games coming up. Any concerts you guys have coming up that you're looking forward to?
Zach Bryan.
Yeah, there we go. So concerts coming up.
Might go to the U.S. Open this week.
Nice. Use Game Time.
Yeah,
there
you guys
we go.
should come.
I saw some 41, and I used Game Time to get
Game
into
Time. Download the Game Time app. Go to the account tab. Create a login and redeem code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download Game Time. Last minute tickets. Lowest price. Guaranteed. Game Time app. Hank's walking out, and it's right before Mount Rushmore. They're just
That's
by himself.
interesting.
He might be leaving. Download the Game Time app. Go to the account tab to create a login and redeem code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Okay, here he is, Jason McCourty in studio. Okay, we now welcome on very special guest, Super Bowl champion, also new host of NFL Network's Emmy Award-winning Good Morning Football, which airs Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. on the NFL Network. It is Jason McCourty. Thank you for joining us. What's up, man?
Appreciate you guys for having me. Every time they say like Emmy award-winning show, I'm like, well, I wasn't a part of the Emmy, so it's just like,
No, you get that.
but I'll take it.
Well, it's
Yeah,
like
no, you
you
get
also
that.
get to retroactively claim all the Patriots Super Bowl rings because you were part of their runs.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, you're involved in that.
No doubt about it. When you just said Super Bowl champion, people don't know whether I'm my brother and I won 3 of them or I
Right.
just got a chance to win 1. So I'm not going to correct him.
Well, you guys share all your socials, so shouldn't you? Aren't
Until-
you 4?
until-
Don't you have 4?
Until now. Now I have my own Twitter.
You did.
At Jason McCourty. Thank you for the free pub. So
There we go.
There we go.
So did you let him take over the old account, or did he have to start a new one himself too?
Nah, we're keeping it right now, just McCourty twins, but like we're still up in the air. Like there might be a space where we still need the McCourty twins one, but I think he got tired of me that first week on Good Morning Football. I'm talking about stuff all over the NFL,
Right.
and he's getting mentioned, and I may have to go in there and talk about how bad he plays in one of these games. He may not want it.
Yeah.
That, so.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I always thought it was a psycho move that you guys shared all social. Like what? I mean, what if he tweets something you don't agree with?
he knows not to do that.
Okay.
But that's actually a perfect. You get a scapegoat right
No
there.
doubt about
like
it.
Yeah.
if you tweet something bad, you can be like, "Oh, that was my brother."
No doubt about it. We're both married, so we didn't really have to go down that path. But if we weren't, like, you could be sliding in the DMs and
Yeah.
all type of stuff,
Yeah.
and just blaming on your brother.
That's actually perfect. I've been fascinated with twins in a weird way for a while. So
bonk.
pause. But like when you guys went to college, you went to school together. You guys had always, you grew up together, played football together, been very, very close as brothers. And then you graduate from college, you go to the NFL, and all of a sudden you guys are in different cities for the first time. What's that like as an identical twin, like having to form your own identity outside of being a twin for like the first time in your life as an adult?
Yeah, for us, we talked all the time. I think especially it's unique because we're in the same profession. So our conversations are always about either family, football, and those things. And I think at that point, the toughest decision was in college, we shared sneakers. You couldn't afford to each buy the new pair of Jordans coming out. So we had to decide. I mean, obviously, I was the one going into the league, so he kept all the shoes. I had to rebuy stuff. But I think the identity part, like for those close to us, people that have been around us, they can tell, like, all right, this is more of a Devin thing to say, more of a Jason thing. We're very similar but completely different in certain things. So I think that part was just normal to us, going, making friends, the whole 9. But we had to get used to, all right, you don't have your brother there to lean on to ask this question, or in conversation, he doesn't know what the hell I'm talking about when I'm talking about stuff with the Titans. But it was awesome. I think I gave him a head start for that next year. I mean, I went at the bottom of the 6th round. This guy goes at the bottom of the 1st. So
Yeah, you gave him you absolutely helped him out. Did he give you a little taste? He
Hell
went to
no.
beak on that.
Didn't give me no money. He goes to the Pro Bowl his rookie year, makes me pay for my own flight and hotel. So I'm still waiting for like a
Damn, that's fucked
$500K
up.
check.
He's the
from
cheap
that.
one.
Yeah, I have a little more messed up twin question. And this could be the last twin question, but I do have a theory that identical twins, they all have at least tried to kiss each other on the lips, just because, like, why wouldn't you? That's your, like, he's hot. Like, if you think you're attractive, then your twin has to be attractive, right?
I gotta assume that's probably more of like a white guy twin thing.
Okay,
than like
all right,
a
nice.
black guy
Nice, you
twin
pull
thing.
the race
like-
card on me. That's fine. That's fine. I'll own it.
I can say we've never went down that path.
All right, so the move to this thing is just a mess. Our studio's a mess, but this keeps falling off, so I lose my headphones over and over. So your career, and you know, 6-rounder, have a long career. Most 6-rounders don't make it. Like, that's just a fact,
Yeah.
you know. So you're now transitioning to the media. Has it been hard to be like, I got to start criticizing all these guys? I got to, like, you know how hard it is to stay in the league. You
Yeah.
know how difficult of a league it is. Have you found yourself like, how am I going to criticize? How am I going to nitpick, knowing how difficult this whole profession is?
I wouldn't say hard, but you definitely think it through how you want to say it. And I think the main thing for me is having the supporting facts. Like, if a guy goes out there, I'm friends with Jacoby Brissett, good friends. If Jacoby goes out there on a Sunday and throws 3 interceptions, like, I have to say something about it. There's no way I can say Jacoby played a great game. It's just the receivers all ran the wrong route.
Right.
So I think it's understanding how you do it. I'm not going to say, oh, yeah, this guy sucks. But, hey, he had a rough day out there today. You can see on this throw and that throw, hey, this guy's clearly open. He's a little greedy, and this is what happens when you're greedy. So I think it's the way you go about it and how you do it, and you're not particularly calling somebody out, but you are calling out the performance and how they played.
Now, have you found yourself doing hot takes yet? Because I feel like that happens with every media guy who is a former pro. They're like, I'm not going to just do hot takes because I know the nuances of the game. And then you get that first hot take off, and it's addicting. Like, like what you just described, we would just be like, Jacoby Brissett's a bum.
Yeah. See,
Right. And it's addicting.
I haven't, and I'm trying to be self-aware about it so that I don't do that. That's the one thing I don't want to do. I'm like, hey, like, 13 years in the league, like, I've had a great career, now transition into the media, like, hey, just let it happen organically. If you're meant to be skyrocketed, one of the best, that's awesome. You may just be a mediocre guy. Don't just go out there and try to say stuff to see what sticks.
Okay,
So,
well,
I can't
on the-
wait to see you do
On
your
the other
first
hand,
hot
you
take.
could just go out there and say, like, I think the game has passed Bill Belichick by.
Yeah.
And it's time for him to hang him up. Like, they don't make the playoffs this year. You admit, like, Bill Belichick's on the hot seat, right?
well, if I say that, then they better go out there and suck. I can't say that, and then they go back to the AFC Championship game, and I'm like,
I'm always suspicious about you former Patriots players
Yeah.
because I think you'll get out there and you'll say, like, the game has passed Belichick by, knowing that Bill's going to read that and he's going to be really good this year, and then he's going to thank you for giving him some bulletin board material. And this is how the Patriot way just recycles over and over and over again until it's like 2050 and he's won 23 Super Bowls.
nah. So if I go out there and I say some outlandish stuff about the Patriots, I'm going to go up to a game or something, go to see my brother play. I'm going to run into Bill, and he's going to be like, I mean, J-Mac, would you just shut the hell up? Like, you're not in the building anymore. You don't know what's going on here. Just shut up. Nobody wants, like, that's going to be the response. He's not going to say, like, hey, thanks for that motivation. I needed that kick in the butt. Like, he doesn't want to hear that.
Well, you just said something, and we'll give you a little media training right now because
Here we go.
You know, we've been in the biz for a long time. You're like, if I say something, it better be right. It doesn't have
True.
to be right.
Very
it
true.
doesn't. No one ever cares.
Most of you guys are wrong.
No one ever cares. No one ever's like, hey, remember that time Jason McCourty's? No. They don't care. No one ever like keeps track of the wrong things.
Yeah.
So you can just say shit,
Yeah.
and no one will fucking care.
It's almost better if you're wrong a lot.
Yeah.
Like, to tell you the truth,
More
like,
popular.
Yeah.
Skip Bayless, he's made a career off
My
saying
goodness.
that LeBron
Being
James
wrong.
sucks
Yep.
and Tim Tebow's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he's the most popular dude in sports media, right? And nobody will ever say, like, they'll tell him that he's wrong, but it doesn't matter because they keep talking about
They're
him.
still watching.
They're still watching, exactly. So we're wrong. We like to be wrong like 6 times a week, like very loud. Also, another thing that we do on the show, we just like admit our biases. Like how you said, like with
Yeah.
Jacoby, it'll be tough to call Jacoby out. Like we will tell you right now that Blake Bortles is a Super Bowl champion caliber quarterback.
Oh,
And
wow.
that any team in the league
That
would be
far.
lucky. Because we love Blake. And so we admit our biases up front.
Which
And
is
so-
important. That is
Yeah.
because
That
you'll
is.
see guys in media like they'll be biased, and then they'll be like, but I'm not being biased. It's like, dude, yeah, you are. Like, it's okay. Everyone has friends. Everyone has people that they're close with. So just say that outright, and then they can't do anything about it.
No doubt about it. I mean, I look at my career, like I always want to be able to walk in the building in New England. I want to be able to go visit the Titans, and I want to be able to go visit the Dolphins, because who doesn't want to go to Miami?
Right.
So when I talk bad about them, it's going to be in a certain way, but I'm not going to bash them. I played in Cleveland for a year.
I was going to say, so
like,
you don't care about going there.
I don't plan on going
Well,
there.
I had a question about that. I mean, it's one of the most remarkable things to go from an 0-16 team to winning a Super Bowl the next year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I what the fuck was that like? That has to be the crazy. Like, did you, after you win the Super Bowl, like, holy shit, I literally played an entire season without winning a game, and now I'm holding the Lombardi Trophy.
We laughed about it in New England. We play Houston the first game that I'm there that first season, and we win the game. Normal game, first game of the season. Deshaun Watson, I think, was coming back off a ACL injury. They didn't perform well. We kind of beat up on them. I played 5 plays in that game, and I'm running in the locker room, screaming, like cheering in the locker room, loud. And everybody, I think, enjoyed that, because here it is. I'm a guy. I hadn't won a game since the 2016 season when I was still a Tennessee Titan.
Right.
If you don't count the 4 preseason games we won in Cleveland. But other than that, I was fired up just to win a game. So I think for me, that season was definitely surreal. Even throughout my career, I never won double-digit wins in a season. Did that in New England. Never won my division. Did that in New England. So I think for me, I was kind of like the poster child of like, see, if you can't take it for granted, because look at Jason over there.
Right.
It's the first time he's experiencing these things. So no, it was definitely surreal.
So I listened to Joe Thomas do a podcast. I think it was with our friend Rosillo, and he was talking about that 0-16 season and like the mental wear that it has on everyone.
Yeah, I remember.
What every week, was there a point in the season where it was like, I just can't, like, I know I have to do a job, I have to get up for this, but it has to just like basically wear you down to a point where you're like, are we even worthy of this? Like, this is how did that go down?
I remember Joe T explained it, defining insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting different results. And that's kind of where we're in, almost like a time trap of like, each week you go out there Wednesday, you do first and second down. Thursday, you do third down. So the same thing, and we were still getting the same exact result every Sunday, loss after loss after loss. And it's definitely tough. I can remember I still had a YouTube video saved. It was like a motivational YouTube video. I'd put it on every morning on my car ride to work, because it was just like, yo, how am I going to get through today?
Yeah.
It was not only, there was just so much going on in the building in Cleveland that year. When you go 0-16, like, that's tough to do. It hasn't been done many times in the NFL. So there's a lot of things going wrong beyond just like not having good players.
Right.
So it was definitely a tough moment throughout my career.
Did you have to find yourself, like, I don't know, just like after the season being over, like figure out a way to like boost yourself back up? Was it that low? Because like I said, when I listened to him talk about it, it's the side that we don't realize, because we obviously make fun of an 0-16 team. We have the jokes. But these guys are all pros. They're all humans. And every single week, like, your confidence has to probably evaporate by the end of the season.
Yeah, so for me, I had just gotten released by Tennessee before I joined Cleveland after 8 seasons. And I actually had one of my better seasons in Cleveland individually. And guys may not want to admit it, but the truth of the matter, when you're losing that many games, you start to become selfish. It's just like, yo, this team's going to blow up. They're not bringing us all back. Like, we haven't won a single game. I better damn well make sure, like, my performance on the field is going to warrant another team wanting me. So when the season ended for me, it was kind of like, all right, where can I end up? Because I don't want to come back to – I don't want to do this again. So, hey, what are the opportunities going to be? And, I mean, luckily for me, end up going to the right team at the right time, winning the Super Bowl.
It's just got to be about self-preservation at that point. It's like, you don't want to get injured that year, right? You don't want to be the hurt guy in an 0-16 team, because then you might be in trouble next free agency. But so you mentioned Tennessee. You wanted to come back in the building in Tennessee. You want to be welcome there. Quick question about your career, and most specifically one incident. Cortland Finnegan.
Oh, I knew that was coming.
I just want to know what the film study was like, the week after Cortland Finnegan got his ass beat by Andre Johnson. Did you guys watch that on the coaches clicker?
No, it got cut off. I don't think they recorded the whole fight. But yo, that whole the build up and everything surrounding that was insane. So my rookie year, I get there and I think Dre drags, and it's funny because I end up playing with Andre in Tennessee, but he drags Cortland down by his helmet off on Houston's sideline, and Cortland gets jumped on Houston's sideline. We had a defensive lineman, Jason Jones, get kicked at it. It was almost like a brawl within the game. Then we played them on Monday night that same season. Cortland karate chops Andre at the bottom of a pile on the play. So this thing had been brewing. And you gotta, if you know Cortland, you understand. 7th round guy from Sanford. He came in and his mindset was I'm a smaller guy. I can't compete with talent-wise with some of these receivers. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get in their head all game. And when he would go against Dre, his mindset was he's going to have to get kicked out of the game. So when everything happens that day and Dre throws those punches, you can see Cortland is clapping in his face because in Cortland's mind, Dre just got kicked out of the game.
Right.
Because at that point, Cortland didn't do anything to warrant him getting kicked out of the game. Dre ripped his helmet off, so he ripped Dre's helmet off, and then they both get kicked out. So I remember walking in the locker room after that game, and we played Houston in 2 weeks. Cortland goes up to me and Alteron Werner, because it was me and Cortland was the starter, and it was us three. He goes, fellas, get ready. First play of the game in 2 weeks, I'm out. We're fighting. There's no way I'm not. Fast forward to those 2 weeks, we're playing Houston at home in Nashville. Merton Hanks, who handles the fines and different stuff in the league at the time, is at the game in the flesh. We're out there warming up, just the T-shirts and hoodies on, not the pregame stuff. Comes over, pulls Cortland aside, lets him know, hey, if anything happens today, it's going to be a hefty fine. Cortland comes back well, fellas, I'll be playing today. So it was one of those things where it was just you felt for him because he never got his chance for that get back. But man, that battle between those two was brewing for years before it kind of spilled over at that point.
Yeah. So talk playing defense in the NFL. You kind of have your career spanned all the rule changes and everything.
Yeah.
Is it overstated how hard it is to play defense now, or is that accurate? How everyone's look, cornerbacks, defensive backs, they just have no chance. Or even defensive linemen trying to hit the quarterback, they have no chance. Do you feel that? Could you feel the change where it's this is just becoming – clearly the league wants scoring. This is becoming almost impossible for us to do our job.
Oh, it's extremely hard. I mean, think about it. For a guy rushing the passer, you're not allowed to hit the quarterback below the knees, even when he has the ball.
Right.
So if you're rushing and you end up on the ground, you have to wait and get up to then try to tackle the quarterback. That just sounds crazy to try to do something like that. And for the DBs, this year it's a point of emphasis to call illegal contact when you pass 5 yards. It's hard enough to cover a guy. Now we're just going to make it even harder because whenever it's a point of emphasis in the league, it's just expect to see a ton of flags come out whenever you touch a guy. But you'll watch a receiver push off and do all types of things. So definitely not overstated. Playing defense, that's why corners get paid so much money.
Yeah.
I've always said that cornerback is the hardest position to play in football.
Corner and left tackle, physically the hardest position to play in football.
Yeah, so what was it about cornerback that made you want to play it? I have to assume that most kids growing up, they want to be a running back, they want to be a wide receiver, they want to be a quarterback. Why'd you decide to play defense?
Yeah, I was a really good high school running back. Not far from here in North Jersey. I was 155 pounds when I went into college. I don't think I was picking up a middle linebacker on a blitz at the running back position. So I was good at cornerback, and after 13 years, it paid well. So I have no problem. You build a certain level of mental toughness playing corner because there are going to be guys that beat you. So I definitely enjoyed it. And just that challenge of knowing week in and week out, you're going against the best athlete on an island by yourself, and you got to perform.
I also assume you just can't catch.
I'm not that great, yeah.
Yeah.
I think 18 career interceptions, and I probably dropped 10 more. So
anytime a cornerback drops a ball, we're just well, he's a cornerback for a reason.
Receivers that can't catch.
Yeah, right,
there you
exactly.
go.
Yeah. Who was the toughest guy to guard, or even if it wasn't a guy that we all know as a superstar, but a guy who always just gave you fits where something he did? Is it harder to guard? Let me ask it this way. Is it harder to guard the guy who's just faster than everyone, or is it harder to guard a guy who has that wiggle like a Julian Edelman who's, making cuts in the middle of the field?
Yeah. speed is the toughest thing to cover to me by far. You can have a really good receiver. If he can't run, the one thing I'm going to say is, all right, like I don't have to – I can take my time a little bit. But that's not to discredit. Like going against – especially you mentioned Jules. Like Jules is tough to cover not only because of his wiggle and his physical ability, but Jules was a monster on the field. Like, you didn't know whether it was going to be a run play and he was going to fire off the line of scrimmage and just headbutt you to block you, or whether he was going to be tired that one play and just kind of like put a hand up and let you run to the ball. You just never knew what to expect from him. But Jules was just so damn tough, just as a person, that he was hard. But there was a guy, Brandon Lloyd, that used to play in Denver, and Buddy could just torque his body any which way to catch a football that nobody talks about, and was a really good receiver. But like Calvin Johnson was a guy that, I mean, literally he looked like a tight end when you were watching film.
When you play a Calvin Johnson, are you in your mind being like, all right, if he goes like 100 for a touchdown, that's a successful day for me? Like, because it's weird to play against a guy like that, knowing that no matter what you do, the best you can possibly be, he's still going to get it.
It would be a successful day for us because we're going to double team him every play. That simple. Like, it's funny because I will watch with my brother being in New England, I will watch their game plans against certain guys. And the year Revis was there, Revis never covered Calvin Johnson when they played him in the game. They put Brandon Browner on him and put the safety over the top. And whoever the next best receiver was just like, all right, Revis, you just go cover him all by yourself. And I got a chance to go there with Stephon Gilmore, and there would be times where we would do the same thing. Gilly would be on the best guy, but whenever we want to double team him, Gilmore would go away from him. And for me, it was like a resurgence of my career. Like, oh, yeah, I'll go to the double team as a 10-year guy. Mm-hmm. Gilly, you go over there and earn all the money and do the tough matchup.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask about Belichick and Rutgers, because he seems to be a real pervert for Rutgers.
He knows where the talent is.
He absolutely he cannot get enough Rutgers in his building. So, whether it's certain players that went there, your brother went there, he loves coaches that have spent time at Rutgers. What is it about Rutgers that makes Bill Belichick just like perk his ears up?
I mean, I think for him, when you're searching for that diamond in the rough, you can go there. I mean, you look at a Devin McCourty, a Deron Harmon, a Logan Ryan. I mean, the list.
Did you say Devin McCourty?
Yes,
That's
a
awesome.
player of that caliber. But I think even so Steve Belichick played lacrosse at Rutgers, and I think when Bill would go there, he got a chance to know Coach Shiano, who was at Rutgers while we were there. And I think just mindset-wise, both of those guys are very similar. Old school, tough-nosed guys. So I think he looked at it, when I get a player coming from this program, coached by this coaching staff, I know exactly what I'm going to get, and I know they can handle what I'm going to throw at them. I think that's why he's done it.
They're like more ready for his system because there's certain things that are in common. Are you a Shiano man?
Yeah, I was there with Shiano all four. Shiano's batshit crazy. Ton of respect for him because he gets the job done. He knows what the team needs. And it was funny because, like you said, guys are prepared for it. So I get drafted first. I go to Tennessee with Coach Jeff Fisher, who's opposite of those guys. Players coach, like Fisher's going to let you come in at 11 in the morning after a long trip, sleep in, whatever. And I'm telling Dev all about the league. Like, I'm telling you, bro, like, so much more laid back. Like, we barely wear full pads in practice. Like, this thing is awesome. And then he gets drafted by New England. He was like, what the hell were you talking about? Like, this is just like being back at Rutgers. Like, totally
how
different.
sick was the famous USF game? Because that was, like, when you think Rutgers football, I don't know if it's a bad thing or a good thing, but, like, it's
good for us. We were there
it's
for
good,
that.
but it's only one game
been a while.
basically in, the last 20 years. But James Gandolfini there, USF is, number 2 in the country, comes to Piscataway. You guys win, like, that. That was an all-time game. I remember it so vividly.
Yeah, we had a few of them. We had that one where they were 2 in the country, and then we beat Louisville when they were ranked really high. Our kicker, like, pointed at the camera. It was one of those Thursday night games.
Yeah.
If somebody knows Rutgers, like, that's what they remember.
Right.
Like, pandemonium in Piscataway. And I got a chance to play with Harry Douglas, who was at Louisville at the time, and he's still mad at me to this day because he felt like that was their chance. That was their year. Brian Brom, him. They had a ton of guys. But, like, yes, to your point, like, those games and those like 2 seasons is what Rutgers is known for. And hopefully now it's kind of like we've moved to the opposite end of it where we're losing games by 50, but we're on the rise. Shiano's back. We're on the rise.
It's got to be tough. Like, do you think like, oh, I wish I played in the Big Ten, or, you know, like, because obviously it's tough. It's very tough.
It's tough.
Rutgers has had a tough time in the Big Ten, you know, playing against the Ohio States, the Michigans, all that, although they beat Michigan a few years ago.
Yeah.
But, like, is there part of you that's like, I kind of wish I was playing against these guys and not, you know, the old Big East?
For sure. I mean, I got drafted at the bottom of the 6th round. If I could have been playing against some of the caliber receivers that are in the Big Ten and these big names and all of that, you just get a chance to showcase your talent even more. And I mean, a chance to play in front of 100,000 people. Like, as kids, you grow up watching those games in those stadiums and like the Charles Woodsons, the Tom Brady's, all of those players, and like getting an opportunity to actually go out there and be a part of that. I would have loved that.
I did I read one anecdote that Belichick, because you played in, did you play in 1 bowl game, 2 bowl games in your career at Rutgers?
4.
Oh, you played all 4.
All
okay,
4.
there you go.
Yeah.
So he calls them pizza bowls though, because he's like, they're trash bowls.
We played in the Papa John's bowl too.
Yeah, he
so,
just calls any bowl.
It fits perfect.
Any bowl that's not like the Rose Bowl or
If
like
it's not the
Peach Bowl,
BCS,
it's just a pizza bowl to him.
Yeah, and I it's hard to argue. We played the Papa John's Bowl, the International Bowl, the Texas Bowl, and the Insight Bowl. Like nobody
Pizza
knows where
bowls.
those are located. Like,
I just like calling them all pizza bowls.
100%. Some people call them toilet bowl games. Like,
Hey,
pick your name.
If you can gamble on it, it's still a bowl game to me.
Hey, there you go.
I'm watching all of them.
I'm an NFL employee. I'm not allowed to gamble.
Oh, is that right?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
Why
if
not?
you were, how many teams would you put in a parlay like Calvin Ridley?
I have no idea what a parlay is.
Oh, nice. He just winked at us.
So
smart.
So wait, NFL employees aren't allowed to gamble at all.
No.
That's one of those rules that's definitely going to change.
Like on sports.
within 5 years.
Horse racing, you can.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. All the guys go all the time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's all like coaches in college and NFL, like basketball, football, everything. All of them bet on horses because
That's why I can't do anything else. So
Yeah.
Take advantage of the one you can.
All right. So, Good Morning Football. You started 5 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
What any like surprises so far of how the show like? What is it? Is it 3-hour show?
Yeah, 3 hours.
Is it tiring? Because I'd imagine like doing 3 hours live TV. That's
It goes by quicker than you think. Like in the beginning, it felt like I did an audition at the end of June. That felt long, but now I'm just like, nah. Like I feel like we're in and out. Next thing you know, we're in the next hour. So I feel like it's going fast. The toughest thing is I'm up at 4:45 each morning. That's tough.
Have you been able to figure out now, like when Kyle Brandt gets going, like he's trying to go viral on Twitter with this?
Yo, when Kyle gets I'm always surprised at like what he's allowed to say. I'm just like, nobody's censoring this. Like we can actually say this stuff on TV. Like,
yeah.
But it's been impressive, I think, especially as a player. Like we'll look at the meeting and we're just like, oh yeah, like you guys, you have a nice setup, but like there's no work. Like you just come in here like, all right, I'll Google Jason McCourty, throw a few questions at him, and then doing it, like you realize how much more work goes into it, preparing for a show each and every day, having the content, all that goes around, and then the behind the scenes of producers and content creators and all of that stuff. It's just like, damn, like this is a well-oiled machine. I'm happy to be a part of.
And Kyle and Peter Schrager and Jamie Erdahl all like super talented. So you're on like a super team when it comes to that show.
I'm the rookie. Like they've been doing it for a decade plus. So I'm in there asking them questions. Like we'll get our emails for the rundown for the show, and they'll have like acronyms and stuff. All right, we got a SOT in tomorrow, or I need a FS. So I'm the guy in there like, yo, what the hell is a SOT? Like,
what is it? Are they lying? They should lie to you about what those different things mean and just like embarrass you on camera.
They haven't, so I don't know if they're listening. So now I may, when the next question comes up, I may get something like that and look like an idiot.
Yeah. What was the audition process like for TV? You have to sit down, pretend it's like a weekday in September, and then hear the highlights. How does that work?
So it's different kind of for all. So I did the broadcast boot camp through the NFL in April, and that was huge because you go to LA at the headquarters of the NFL offices and all of that, and we're there for like 3 days. You do like a day and a half like rundown of like what is it like to call a game on TV, radio, podcast, and studio stuff, and they're giving you like information that you can learn and take with you. And then the last day is like a full-on live audition. So like we watched a 2-minute drill of a TV game from the year before, and we're actually calling it as if we're there doing the game for radio. We went in studio with like real topics that were going on in the news at the time. And at this thing, there's the NFL Network stuff. There's CBS, NBC, Westwood One. There's all type of people looking for talent. So that was kind of my main audition. And then from there, ended up doing a draft show for CBS Sports Network. And then ended up getting an opportunity. I just went on Good Morning Football. It wasn't like a mock thing. It was like I just went on for a day in June, and whatever the topics were, Peter was there, Kyle was there, and Sarah Walsh was there from NFL Network, and we just did 2 shows on a Monday and Tuesday.
At the boot camp, do they teach you how to apologize if you say something that you shouldn't on the air?
good
I
question.
love a good media apology.
Yeah.
No, they didn't. I
You
think
want
they,
to role play it real quick?
Yeah.
Like,
Why-
let's just
what
say
are
you
we
accidentally
apologizing
called, you
for?
called Justin Herbert a motherfucker accidentally during a game.
You meant to
no,
say
Zach
Zach
Wilson.
Wilson.
You meant to
Yeah.
say it was Zach.
Yeah.
And he said Justin Herbert. You're like, sorry, he actually did not have sex with anybody. I'd like to apologize. All right, so 3, 2.
Jason McCourty here. I'm representing part of my take at Barstool Sports. And I just want to apologize. My behavior was inexcusable. Those actions will not happen again. I think for myself, I've gone through some self-reflection, and I realized that those comments can be extremely
This
hurtful.
Belichick has.
And I had to really take into account how they impact others, and words can do a lot of damage. And I promise you guys will see better from me, and I will strive each and every day to be the best that I can be.
Wow.
I believe
that was
it.
great.
Yeah.
Here's a tip, too. Don't ever notes app anything, because we will clown you for that. Anyone who does the notes app, it's immediate, like, dude, are you serious? Like, you
the
thought this
phone up
was
and
so
just-
important that you had to put it on the notes
For
app?
100%.
Like, get out of here.
100%.
Yeah, the notes app is immediate, like you've lost
Is it
already.
better just to not apologize, or do you
Well,
apologize to keep the job?
I like the all black background that you use on like Instagram more
Yeah.
often, where it's just like a black or a blue screen and then the white text.
With the text,
That's
okay.
and maybe like a giant quotation mark in it
Yes.
somewhere
Yes.
to show that it's a quote from you. I always like that. That's a nice touch.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
the notes app that still says like notes on it,
Yeah.
and then like you
With
can
the
take
time.
Yeah. It's the lamest thing you can do. You automatically lose on that apology. So that's just a little tip.
We're going to get back to Jason McCourty in a second, but before we do, he is being brought to you by our great friends over at Coors Light. I was drinking some Coors Light this weekend. The mountains were blue. Billy knows. Billy was on the beach. We housed some Coors Light, didn't we, Billy?
We had an amazing day of relaxation.
Amazing day. It was so chill. The mountains were so blue. Man, I'm going to miss the beach, but guess what? Coors Light is also great when you're watching college football. And summer is full of official events. You got your weddings, your graduations, your 4th of July barbecues, but everyone knows the best parts of summer are the unofficial ones. This summer, Coors Light is the official beer of everything unofficial, celebrating those moments that truly make summer chill. Billy was trying to capture seagulls with his bare hands. I told him I'd pay him $1,000 if he could get a seagull with his hands. I was sitting back enjoying an ice-cold Coors Light, laughing at him, watching him fail miserably over and over again. There's only one beer out there that's literally made to chill, and that's Coors Light. The mountains on the bottles and cans even turn blue when your beer is cold. That way you always know when it's time to chill. Summer chill starts with Coors Light. Make the most of your summer with a chance to win exclusive chill merch, fun local experiences, even a trip to New York, Chicago, or Los Angeles. Enter to win at CoorsLight.com/take. No purchase necessary. Sweepstakes ends 9/19/22. Game ends 9/6/22. 50 USDC 21 and over only. Void where prohibited. For rules, visit CoorsLightSummer.com. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. And now, here's more Jason McCourty.
All right, so let's do some hot takes about this season.
Okay.
Because football's coming. What do you like? What is the thought that you're thinking right now about? It could be a team, a player, anything that you know. This is what you're going to probably stand on going into this season.
Well, I'll start with this. We had Aaron Schatz come on the show, and he does the Football Insiders Almanac, and he picked the Eagles
That's
Yeah.
I have a future on them.
to go to the Super Bowl
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
And I guess cold take. I'm saying I don't see that.
Oh.
I don't see that happening.
Why not?
That I just don't see them. I think Hurts is good. I think he'll take another step. I don't think that step is going to be to the Super Bowl. They made it to the playoffs last year. They got killed by the Bucs in the first round of the playoffs. I mean,
It was windy.
so
It was windy.
well, it may snow this year. So
Well, no, but it was windy. I'm just saying, Jalen Hurts. It was windy. Just to defend him real quick, it was windy.
It was windy for the Eagles.
You can't
and not
account
for,
for
the
that.
Bucs.
Yeah, you can't account for the
that's
wind.
a first for me. Like it was,
that's another
It was
thing.
windy.
Just blame weather. Blame any type of thing.
It was cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can always.
Like the New England Buffalo game.
Yeah.
It was cold. New England I mean, Buffalo scored on every possession. It's unimaginable to play defense in the cold.
Exactly.
So, okay.
I remember a year where I went to Wisconsin. They played Ohio State, and it was raining, and I was like, I'd like to see Ohio State beat us on normal conditions. Then we played in the Big Ten championship game. They kicked the shit out of Wisconsin. But I had that for a few months where I was like, play us man-to-man, straight up, regular conditions.
Yeah.
So you can use that. Weather's always good to use.
Yeah. Okay. I have to go on my notes app and make sure I write this down for the future.
I like the idea of Philadelphia winning that division because nobody repeats in the NFC East ever.
Yeah.
It's been like since 2005, 2004, something like that. So I do agree. Like I think they make the playoffs, but I don't think that they're going to be in the Super Bowl this year.
I don't see. I do think it's going to be the three kind of power teams we've talked about: the Rams, the Packers, and the Bucks. I do believe it's going to be one of them that represent the NFC.
What's the team that maybe you have your eye on in the NFC that's like outside of those three that you could see? Because I'll throw one at you. I'm kind of thinking the Vikings might be good this year.
I like the Vikings. I think we talked so bad about Kirk Cousins.
Right.
Kirk Cousins had 33 touchdowns and 7 interceptions last year.
But he does. He's Kirk Cousins. He had
the shirt. He had the picture with no shirt on, showing his suntan. He's kind of like the quirky dude, but that's okay. If you can throw 33 touchdowns and 7 interceptions, we can win with that. So I think Kevin O'Connell going over there, what he can do. I mean, we've already heard Jefferson say, "Hey, like I see what Cooper Kupp was able to do in that offense. I'm fired up to see what I can do." I think the Vikings, I would go with them as Super Bowl dark horse over the Philadelphia Eagles if I'm choosing between those two.
So my theory on the Vikings is like Kirk Cousins is a perfectly fine, exactly average quarterback.
Yes.
I've watched him his entire career.
Yes.
He's a great quarterback. You don't want to pay him as much money as they're paying him ideally. But I think that there's something to this, and you can speak on it as a defensive player, where Mike Zimmer was a defensive guy, right? And he outwardly hated Kirk Cousins. You could tell, like, he could not stand the fact that he was paying this guy this much money. Just like utterly he didn't have time for Kirk. Now they brought in a guy that is specifically there to get the most out of Kirk Cousins. The defense going into every game, since they felt like they had their coach like on their side as their guy, I feel like the defense is more fired up. They're like, yeah, this guy kind of sucks, so it's on us to step up. Now they've got a guy that's brought in to kind of coddle Kirk, and the defense I think is going to be a little bit – it's not going to have the same edge to him.
You said the defense won't have the same edge.
Yeah, because they don't have Zimmer.
See, I'll give you another perspective. When you're on the defensive side of the ball and you're balling, you have a really good defense, but you know if we give up a touchdown or we give up a touchdown late, it's going to be damn near impossible for us to win the game. It's a lot tougher. When you have the chance where you have a quarterback in an offense where you feel like, hey, and you're sitting on the bench in a 2-minute drill and you're very hopeful because you're like, hey, like, we're good. Like, they're going to go down. We're down 2. Like, we're definitely going to get in field goal range. That hypes the defense up. When you're on a defense and you know your quarterback or you know your offense can go win the game, even if it is a very average Kirk Cousins, but you believe in Kevin O'Connell, you're like, hey, you give him the fourth quarter, 3 quarters to be able to figure out what the defense is going to do. He's going to draw some shit up that we're going to be good. As a defense, when you don't have that, like, you're totally deflated. Every play you give up is just like that. Our chances to win just went down. It's huge.
I'm a big believer in that.
It's
like
huge.
even an offense that maybe they're not scoring at an elite level, but not getting 3 and outs constantly.
Exactly.
Because I'd imagine from a defensive side, if you're playing and you've played on teams where it's like 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out.
I had 9 different quarterbacks in Tennessee.
Yeah. So like the 4th or 5th one, you're like, what the fuck? Like we're just on the field the whole time.
We would give up a play on the sideline and be like, all right, we can't give up any more points. And it's halfway through the first quarter, and it's just like, damn, well, Peyton Manning's over there. Like, they're gonna score again. We're gonna need some help. So I think a better offense can sometimes kind of hyping that defense where, they may give up more points, because that was the thing when I got to New England. It was harder to keep teams under 20 points when you have Brady, who's possibly putting up 40 points. There's more passes in the game. So it just changes the flow of the game, opposed to when I was in Cleveland or I was in Tennessee with a team where we weren't as good. The other team on the other side is just like, hey, no turnovers, no mistakes. Like, we'll outlast them and we'll be able to win the game. Right. So the flow of the game is a little bit different.
So you're saying you'd rather have Tom Brady as your quarterback than Jake Locker or Zach Mettenberger?
Tough one. Jake Locker's kind of a what if.
Jake Locker's a great dude too. Like, awesome
kind of
dude.
A what if.
Mettenberger was almost like the next Brady in a sense, but
I love whenever there's
Anytime
I had
guys
to-
draft
someone
in the
had a
sixth
gun
round.
to my head, I'll go with Brady.
Yeah. Anytime there's like a 6th or 7th round white dude who has like
He was tall.
yeah, who
Yeah,
controls the
maybe frumpy
game
body.
a couple times.
Ryan
like,
Mallett.
next Brady. Yeah, Ryan Mallett couldn't. His alarm situation was tough.
Yeah,
Didn't wake up.
a lot going on.
All right, so AFC.
Yeah.
I mean, the AFC's.
Yeah,
It's crazy how loaded the AFC is.
unreal.
And I know every year we do this when we go into a season and we're like, all right, you can put in, the Chiefs, the Bills, like list them off. There's obviously going to be one team that will maybe fall off from that. So what's the team that made the playoffs last year? You could be like, because there's, there's a lot of times where that will happen where you just write in the Bengals, the Chiefs, the Chargers, who didn't even make the playoffs. But
Yeah.
what team do you think that everyone's expecting to be really good might take a step back?
Well, I'll name a few. I think it's going to be interesting what happens in New England. I think they're a team that made the playoffs last year with Mac Jones as a rookie quarterback who played really well. They've gone through what's been the talk of the entire offseason with Josh McDaniels leaving and taking a ton of coaches with him of what their offense is going to be like. I think it's going to be interesting for them in that division because Buffalo, Josh Allen's they're going to be there. They're not falling off. But Miami got better. I mean, they added weapons all over the place. Now the question is, we just talked about Kirk Cousins and an offensive coach being able to come and kind of electrify the offense. What is Mike McDaniel going to do for Tua to be able to electrify that offense and make it similar? Miami had a defensive-minded coach in Flo who was who was kind of focused. He wants to have a great defense and run the ball. Now you get a Mike McDaniel, a guy who's an offensive guy, and the defense is still the same. So I'm interested to see with them. And then I think the AFC West, like the Raiders were in the playoffs last year, but then we look at it, the Chargers didn't make it, the Broncos didn't make it, but it's just like, why don't we think like this division is going to be very tough? They're going to beat up on each other. I know that's what everybody's talked about, but I do think the Chiefs are still going to be there. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, you've watched him this preseason. Like, yes, no Tyreek Hill, but I mean, he's a magician with the ball in his hands.
You mentioned Flo. When Belichick had his, he screwed up his text messages. He black Brian, white Brian. He didn't know which one he was texting. Were you called for a character witness because he once did screw up you and your brother, right? He did mess that up, didn't he? Before Super Bowl.
Yeah, he early on when we got there, like he didn't know who was. I was just called Devin most of the time. I think he was just used to saying that name, so it was just like, Devin, what are you doing? It was just like, no, I'm Jason, coach. But no, I didn't get called in. I think that's a simple fix. Like you just said, you go into contacts, you just make a little edit to the names, and that simplifies it.
Did he when you weren't on the Patriots, he screwed it up, right?
He did. That was Dev's second year. They make it to the Super Bowl in Indianapolis, and they're playing the Giants. And we're down there, and I know too well the family schedule when you go down to the Super Bowl. I tell other people I won one, went to that Super Bowl I played in, but I've been to 5 of them because I went to 4 of them as the brother of Devin Mccourty. But we're there Saturday before the Sunday game, and that's when you do the whole family pictures, and everybody's down on the field. So I'm down there. I think I'm dressed in like jeans and a hoodie or something, and Bill walks up to me. He's like, "What the hell are you doing? Like, you got to get dressed. We're doing the team." And he doesn't finish the sentence. He's like, "Oh hell, you're Jason." Had no idea. Like, just blew it. And I was just like, if you want me to go put a uniform, like, I'll line up for you guys. Whatever y'all need, I'll run down on kickoff. But
Have you ever thought about doing something like that? Like going back to high school, one of you guys sprains an ankle, the other like puts on the uniform real quick, steps in.
I remember my second year, Dev's rookie year, Jeff Fisher comes up to me. We're in practice, and he was just like, "You and your brother look quite alike, huh?" He was just like, "I bet if he walked in here and you left, like, we wouldn't know." I was like, no one would have any idea. This would be the year to do it. Like, I'm out the league. Like, I fly up to Foxborough, put the stuff on. I know the defense. Like, I know where I'm walking in the building. This would be the time for me to kind of go up there and get some stuff done.
You should. I'm not trying to tell you how to do your job, but that would be an electric Good Morning Football segment.
That
where
would.
you just try to live a day and see if anyone notices.
Just walk into the building and see. Like, I would just need one person in New England to be okay with it because somebody has to tell Dev to stay home so he doesn't get fined.
Right.
So, yeah, that would.
Okay.
That's
a video.
That's the way that you do it. If God forbid, he like breaks a finger or something like that, needs a couple weeks off.
Yeah.
You just put the pads on, you split the check with him.
That would be the tough negotiation. He'd have to give up some of that money.
Yeah.
So.
How much would it cost for you to step in? Like, would you need those full 2 weeks to pay for his contract if you stepped in and played 2 games for him without anybody knowing?
Yeah, you said split. We know. If I'm playing, I'm going to meetings. I need that full 2, and he's still getting paid a lot. So he's getting paid a lot more than me. So we're gonna need that.
Just so you know, if he does like twist an ankle or something like that, he's out for a week. And when he comes back, I'm just gonna say that it's you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna spread that rumor.
Yes.
Out there.
Wait to see how he plays first, though.
Yeah,
If he's out there stinking it up, don't put that on me. Like, let him take that.
Another media tip for you: just anytime a quarterback does something great, just be like, if Patrick Mahomes did this, everybody would go nuts. That's just a good thing to say. Like, people love that shit. So anytime a quarterback does like a little sidearm pass, and
I should have brought my notebook.
Like Matt Stafford, he does that a lot, and people do go nuts when Matt Stafford does it. But it's more impactful if you tell people like, "Hey, you'd be freaking out if Mahomes did this, but you're not doing it right now."
Yeah, that's perfect. Right
I
there.
love that. I love that. Yeah, Mahomes is the Houdini.
All right, so I know you can't talk gambling, wink, wink. So I'm going to ask a question that's not gambling, but maybe has a little gambling undertone. The psychological aspect of like a letdown game. Is it real in the NFL? Because we see it all the time in college. Like if a college team, I'm sure when you guys beat USF, you probably didn't have the best practice the next week.
We beat Louisville, and then we go to Cincinnati and get our ass whooped
right.
while we were
because you're kids, and it's like, all right, we're the big man on campus. We got this.
Yeah.
Does that happen in the NFL? Like, is there after a big win, can you notice that like maybe it's everyone's maybe not as focused the next week?
Nobody talks about it. The only person I've heard, Julian Edelman, like. There would be times in New England where we're bringing it up and he decides to give a speech and he started off and he'd be like, "We're in a trap game, boys. We got to figure it out. We're in a trap game." And like everybody's dying laughing because anybody that's been around Bill Belichick, like the last thing he wants to hear is somebody talking about a game as a trap game and kind of saying that, all right, this is that letdown game. But nobody talks about it. Like, I think in the league, especially depending upon what team you're on, like each game has its own kind of anthems or themes for it. Like you could be with New England and you win a tough game versus whoever, the Chiefs or whatever, and then the next week you're playing the Jets and you're just like, all right, this is the letdown game. But in New England, you hate the Jets. So it's just like if this is an easy team, like we want to beat the brakes off of them.
Right.
Or it's a team that's at a conference and it's just like, well, we barely play this team, so we're going to have to put in extra. I feel like there's always something that makes that game tough, and because it only happens for the good teams.
Right.
The bad teams, you're trying to win every single game because you just lost the one before. But I think for the good teams, there's always some form of a theme or something going on that makes that game important at the time.
Okay, that makes sense.
What was the team that you hated the most?
That I played on, or while I was playing against?
Well, we can do both. Either
Browns.
way.
You already said you don't want to be back in that facility.
Team I hated while playing. I would say when I was in Tennessee playing against Houston, there was a lot of hate. I think there's history between the Titans from Houston as the Oilers, then going over to Tennessee. So there was always like a rivalry that was forming and that was brewing in two relatively new teams because Tennessee hadn't had a team until they moved from Houston, and then Houston was the expansion team. So there was always kind of those rivalries. And then the fact that Cortland and Andre got into a fight didn't help the fact that when we played them, you better be ready to go.
Yeah. Okay, so I had one last question. This has been great. We appreciate you coming by, Jason. You're now a recurring guest, so you have to come anytime
It's down the street from the studio.
Street. Yeah, we'll chop it up. The Roback question, RHOBACK.com. Use code TAKE for 20% off your first purchase. Q-Zips, hoodies, polos, everything. Roback.com, promo code TAKE. Give us your Super Bowl pick. Matchup and winner.
Super Bowl
Again,
pick.
remember everything we've told you. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. All right, I'm telling you my winner off rip. I'm going with the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen.
Okay, I
like it.
I see him. This is also my reasoning with him. There hasn't been many times. I don't know if there's been a time where you've won the Super Bowl and the league MVP. And I feel like Josh Allen's trajectory is going that way. But I feel like the storyline this year will be Patrick Mahomes losing Tyreek Hill and him continuing to be able to put up performance. He'll be possibly the MVP. Maybe. We'll see. But on the NFC side, oh, man, I think I'm going to go. Why not? I'm gonna do a team that nobody wants to hear. I'll go to Dallas Cowboys. I'm gonna put them.
wow.
I'll put them in the Super Bowl. I'll go on Twitter, and whoever reads this is gonna kill me. We did a segment where we had to talk about who was under the most pressure in the NFC East quarterbacks, and I chose Dak Prescott. And somebody tweeted me like, "Why the hell are you always talking about the Cowboys?" I'm like, I'm literally saying they're under pressure because they may not do it, but
Right.
everybody's saying they're gonna. So people hate to hear about the Cowboys.
Also,
so
I mean,
why
that's
not?
just TV. Like,
Yeah.
talk about the Cowboys.
it
and
doesn't
LeBron.
matter what you say.
Yeah, right. And you'll get people watching.
Exactly.
Okay. I mean, that would be an all-time classic matchup,
Why
Bills
not?
Cowboys again. But yeah, I just
You don't see it.
like Mike McCarthy. To me, it feels like
He's
they're
too
just
dumb.
waiting to fire him.
dumb.
Yeah,
I'm
he
just
is.
gonna say like
No, he is.
that's what Big Cat's that's what he's thinking. We all think it. Mike McCarthy is a dum dum.
Yeah, and he's a
turkey.
They're just waiting to fire him. They're like, hey, we're
Yeah,
gonna
every
do
time
this again.
every time Jerry Jones talks, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah,
He's
right.
got Sean Payton is probably like flying in the back of Jerry Jones's plane just in case this is the week that Mike McCarthy gets fired.
Right.
We'll just switch him right out.
Take over.
And
Yeah.
I sound a little mean when I call Mike McCarthy dumb, but he's dumb.
Yeah, no,
He's dumb. Like he sat down in that opening press conference and he was like, "Yeah, I sat down with a guy that's really good at computers and he taught me about all these stats." That was bullshit. Mike McCarthy, he doesn't give a shit about stats.
Well, and it's also, I mean, it's just a fact. As a bigger guy myself, like when you're overweight and you're dumb, you're extra dumb. Like there's something about it where it's just like, well, he's really dumb.
I've always been really skinny, so I don't know. I can't.
Yeah,
I don't know the feeling
Smart.
of being
like.
big.
It takes a
and
while
dumb.
for people to say you're dumb.
It takes a while for them to notice.
Yeah,
it.
whereas like Mike McCarthy, it's like he's kind of like drooling on his face, like what is going on? He's dumb.
yeah, like Bill can say something dumb and people be like, "Oh, that's just his secret genius at work." But Coach Bielema says something dumb and they're like, "Oh, Jesus Christ, this guy."
Right. Like he's a slob. Yeah, no, it's true.
I'm just laughing at that fact that he went to Coach Bielema, like
Yeah.
former Patriots coach. I was with Brett in New England, like that was
He's a good dude though. We like him.
Really good
Yeah.
dude.
But he's a
Really
hoss.
good.
Yeah, he's a huge guy. Huge guy.
Big dude.
Yeah, yeah. He's-
Coaching lifestyle is tough. Like not much sleep. Like
Yeah.
sometimes you're just grabbing a treat for like. It's tough to stay healthy as a coach, man.
Yeah.
Get those workouts in. It's
Yeah.
tough.
You think about becoming a coach after
No.
you retire? It was always
No.
going to be like, let's see what we can do in media.
If not media, just figuring out what was next. Never coaching. I said to my wife, I hope I never get the urge to coach. It's just, I mean, they're in the building daily till like midnight. Like you miss so much of the world going on outside of just like we're trying to win a Super Bowl.
Oh, I had one last question. Sorry. We've talked about this with Jules, but was there ever a moment that Ernie Adams pulled you aside and was like, "Hey, here's a little tip"?
It was more like history. Something would come up, like maybe 8:00 a.m. and in a meeting or something came up. Somebody asked a question, nobody had the answer. It'd be like 4:00, days ending, and Ernie would come up to you with like a whole stat and a story behind like why something was installed. It was almost like incredible that it was just like, damn, he remembered that. And the thing that was fun about Ernie, like he would draw the cards that for the scout team on Friday practices. So like as a defense, like Friday as a vet is just like, I'm not going through the motions, but like I got to get ready for it. We're 2 sleeps away from the game. I got to get ready. I'm not trying to go out here and run 100%. And the offense sometimes, the scout team offense would go out there and destroy us. And like for guys on the defense, you'd be like, man, Ernie's drawing shit up. Like they didn't show this on film in the past 16, 15 weeks. And now all of a sudden we're getting a double reverse pass on a Friday. And it's just like you could say something to Ernie and he'll have like in 1984 they ran this play. Something like he's brilliant,
Did
brilliant
it
dude.
ever like work out that he would run something in
I can't
the
remember.
Friday?
I can't remember which team we played, but I mean, we got killed in a Friday practice to the point where this was in 18. Flo like stopped the practice and like snapped on all of us. We had one of our best performances on defense that Sunday and
Right.
shut out. I don't remember who we played, but killed him that Sunday.
That's awesome.
Ernie is a genius.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we love hearing Jules gives us a little bit. I think he holds some of it back.
Yeah.
because There's a mystery around Ernie Adams. Yeah. Okay, well, Jason, thank you so much. Good luck with the new show. Like I said, you got to come back.
Yes, sir.
So you're right down the street. Maybe we'll have you back when the Cowboys start like 1-6 or something.
Yeah.
And we're like, what do you think now?
And I'm gonna say I never said that.
Yeah, no, we're gonna hold you to everything.
Yeah,
that's
I've
the,
never
that's
said
the
that.
rule. Yeah,
Let us know if you go up to New England for a week.
Yeah,
Get it on
we'll
Sunday.
figure that out.
Make that video.
We'll
That's
get
a good video.
Yeah, we'll get you guys to sponsor it so we can get some money out of
Yeah.
it.
We would sponsor
yes.
that video, yes.
Yes,
sure.
absolutely. All right, thanks so
Appreciate
much,
it, fellas.
Jason.
Jason Mccourty was brought to you by ZipRecruiter. Hiring is challenging, especially right now when you have so much on your plate. But luckily, there's one place that you can go where hiring is simple, fast, and smart. It's a place where growing businesses connect to qualified candidates. That place is ZipRecruiter.com/PMT. ZipRecruiter will do all the work for you. Hypothetically, if you're looking to hire some people to help you with the Mount Rushmore after you've fired your entire team and decided to do it on your own, and then you end up losing terribly and embarrassingly, you should use
That hasn't
ZipRecruiter.
happened.
And Hank, I'm doing an ad read.
Sorry.
I'm doing an ad read, Hank. ZipRecruiter uses its powerful technology to find and match the right candidates up with your job. You can easily review these recommended candidates and invite your top choices to apply. ZipRecruiter is so effective that 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the very first day. That will save you time. And right now, to try ZipRecruiter for free, our listeners can go to ZipRecruiter.com/PMT. That's ZipRecruiter.com/PMT. ZipRecruiter.com/PMT. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Okay, Mount Rushmore time. This is we got 3 left. I assume the first week of September we're not going to do any because football will be back.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
We probably only have 3 left ever.
Why?
Ever, because I think this is going to destroy the podcast.
That might destroy the podcast. So Hank has, if you miss Fridays, Hank stabbed Batgirl and Memes in the back, threw them off the bus, said that I want to do this shit myself, pouted, being a little bitch. Some people are saying, not me. I love you, Hank. Being a little bitch.
No, I have no
bad attitude.
Listen, I have no problem with what Hank did, but if he had done it to me, I would be like, wow, this guy's a terrible human being.
Right. Basically like almost a how-to of how not to be a coach or a leader of a team.
How to alienate your entire team and turn the world against you.
No, I'm calling plays myself now.
By Hank Lockwood.
Okay. Call and plays yourself. So Hank, would you? Did we win?
We won last time.
Oh,
yeah.
we won. Should we let Hank go?
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, they won by like 5%.
Yeah, we won.
Shout out Nick
We won.
Handrich, AWL, for the recommendation on this one.
Oh yeah. So this is Mount Rushmore of things that it sucks to be late to.
I say,
Late for.
I say we do Hank a favor and we let him take the end of the snake so he gets 2 picks in a row.
Okay.
I think that's the best place to be.
Okay. Should we go first then?
Yeah, we can go first. Or do you want to let Jake and Billy go first?
Yeah, they'll fuck it up.
Yeah,
okay. Let them go first. All right. So Jake and Billy. Oh wow.
All right.
Jake, Billy, and Max.
Yeah, we have Max.
We have memes.
Oh, I forgot
Three-man
about
team
Max.
right now. We were all pretty much in agreement on our 1-1.
By the way, just as a side note, we have memes on our team, and we're not going to do what Hank did and like bash memes. But memes contributed nothing to this fucking Mount Rushmore. 0.
Well, he said that he said
zero.
the thing that he sent over to us, his first one he said should be 1-1.
Yeah,
I don't know about that.
He also maybe he's a spy and he's still giving Hank picks.
Oh, is he double crossing us?
You guys are shook.
Okay.
Did Meme send Hank our entire list?
All right. Yeah, he probably did. Okay, here
That's
we
good
go.
because we put a few fake ones on there just in case.
Yep.
All right.
Which one?
We have
Okay,
an agreement.
okay, yeah.
Yeah. 1-1. Worst things to be late to, job interview.
Late 2, late 4.
Yeah.
A job interview.
Job interview.
Okay.
Job interview.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not a good one.
Good one.
You're in a hole.
Okay. Yeah.
Already.
No, that's true. That's absolutely true.
You're just fucked.
What?
You're fucked.
Yeah, you're fucked. All right. Our 1-1 pick. You agree with this 1-1?
That's
right?
a good 1-1.
Yeah. Things that sucks to be late for, late 2, pulling out.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Yeah.
Really bad when you're late.
Kind of
for that.
defeats the entire purpose
Just
of it.
kills it.
Guess what?
Oh, babe, I'm about to pull out. Oh shit.
Guess what?
Cream
now
pie.
you have to raise a kid.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
there's alternate options too. Like that's not you can.
Whoa,
you
what
can
state
fix
are you
that
living
pretty
in,
quickly.
buddy?
Plan B.
Excuse me?
Is Plan B
Have you
not in
read the
every
news?
state?
Maybe not for long.
Yeah, pulling out. That sucks.
Pulling out. I get job interviews, so what? You don't get the job.
Yeah, right.
There's
You get
other
another
jobs out
job,
there.
right.
Now you got a kid.
Right. Okay. Billy also just like that one blew his mind because he was thinking like job interview, weddings, like there's some other things out there.
Mm-hmm.
I had that on, what was it, the other Mount Rushmore the other day.
What?
Yeah, it was like,
Things in slow motion.
Yeah, slow motion pulling out. Yeah. Okay, Hank. Hank has written it down on a piece of paper.
I do.
He's wearing a collared shirt,
And I still am this football guy crew neck.
which is a
Fire.
great sweatshirt.
I still have my 1-1. I feel like I'm being trolled to an extent, but my 1-1 is your child being born.
Okay. Yeah, unless
Yeah, they don't remember.
you might be playing in a football game at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're the person having the child probably would.
Maybe.
Yeah, true. Do you think, though, maybe the person having the child is more mad that she's having the child because you forgot to pull out?
No.
Okay.
And
It's a
then
little chicken and the egg right there.
my
Like, which one are you more mad at?
2, I will go with a fantasy football draft.
Oh, yeah.
that is bad.
That's
You
pretty bad.
show up late for that, you tank your whole season.
Yeah.
Auto draft, yeah. And then everyone else is mad at you, too.
You can draft from your phone nowadays, though.
Yeah, it's not
If
the
you're
same.
on time, yes.
Yeah, yes, on time.
If
That
you
would be on
forget
time.
about it.
But
That would be
so it's
being
not a
on time.
place.
Yeah.
You're not doing places.
No, if you just forget, if you just are late to your fantasy football draft, you do the auto draft and you get like a guy who just got injured, it fucking sucks.
One
Or
time,
you do the thing where you get a defense in like the 6th round.
Yeah, one time I was late for I was doing a baseball MLB fantasy draft when I was in college, and I just completely forgot about it. And all the other guys in that league, 9 guys, it took me like 5 years to get that friendship back. They were so mad that I fucked up their entire draft.
How are the Steamhead Express doing?
Oh, good question, Hank. Let's see. I might need to re-download the app because I forgot about it for the last month. Let's see.
When I was a kid, my dad was so committed to not being late to a fantasy draft that he actually left me at the Little League field
That's good parenting
Yeah.
because it's lead by example. Okay.
because he had a draft.
all right, update on the Steamhead Express.
He didn't pick me up. He was supposed to pick me up, and he had a draft, so he
When did
forgot about
fantasy
me.
start?
And there was like no cell phones. Like
they
you
were doing
just-
it on like a fucking overhead projector, legit.
and you couldn't like
You had to call in trades and shit.
No, but like how did you? No, I'm saying you couldn't call him. There was no cell phones.
No, right? No, none of that. Yeah.
14-4-0, win percentage 778, first place in the East. I got the number 1 overall seed right now if the playoffs started.
Nice.
I'm a fucking wagon.
Nice.
And I still have no. I cut Tatis. I cut him.
Good.
Cut his ass.
Good. Send a message.
To the youngsters out there.
All right, we got next pick. I think we should go. Yeah, we should.
Well,
It's kind of topical.
I saw the one that you sent.
You don't like those top 3?
No, I like them, but then I went back and I like the 1, 2, 3, 4th one that I sent you. Maybe we take that one in the last round. The 4th
Okay, yeah,
one
yeah.
that I sent you.
Okay.
So I'll go with our number 2 on this list.
Yeah.
Go into the bathroom. Don't want to be late for that. If
Jersey
you're like
Jerry.
on a train, you're trying to get somewhere hypothetically, and you end up having a full blowout.
Sad day, bad day. It's a catastrophe.
It looked like George Brett dumped a can of Wolf chili into
Yeah.
his underwear. It was bad.
It was really bad. Being late for the bathroom, that's really, really bad.
Yeah, I've been honestly. It got into my head.
Oh yeah.
Now I'm like every time I feel something in my stomach, I sprint to a bathroom because I can't have that happen.
That was that's like watching remember that, what was that movie that Adam Driver and Scarlett
Bridesmaids?
Johansson.
Oh, the
Marriage.
the
The
marriage thing one.
You watch that with your significant other and you're like, whoa. That's what the same effect that I had when I watched Jerry's, and I'm like, whoa.
That could-
Do I have to do a systems check.
Yeah.
Like this is you watch Chernobyl and you're like, that could happen to me.
Dude, I'm not even kidding. The last couple days, I've pooped probably like 3 times, 4 times a day. What, Billy? What was that?
That's
shrug
you're a
for?
poop guy.
Billy keeps saying I'm a poop guy.
Are you a poop guy?
He's a
I
poop
poop.
guy.
Are you a poop
I
guy?
poop.
We like.
But are you a poop guy?
I think I might be
You're
a
a
poop
guy
guy.
poop
who
guy.
like pooping like takes up a lot of your day.
Yeah,
like you
you're a
have to
poop
like
guy.
we like wait for the podcast because you're pooping. You're
No,
a poop
That
guy.
is true sometimes.
You're a poop guy.
No, I never delay this
Where were
podcast
we?
with my
Where
butt.
were-
Sometimes.
I delay macro dosing
Where was he
occasionally.
pooping
Sometimes.
recently on Grit Week? You were in and out, and he
He's
was just
pooping.
pooping the whole time.
Yeah,
it's like, where's PFD? And he's pooping.
You're a poop guy.
I had
It's
to,
okay.
I had
You're
to
a
poop
poop
in and out.
guy.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're a poop guy.
It's
Scott
just like-
Boris.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You're
I
a
did
poop
poop.
guy.
Yeah, see, I might
You're
be
a-
a poop
I'm
No,
guy.
not
you
saying
are.
this. You're a
you
poop
are.
guy.
Yeah, he
I might
is.
be
You're
a
right,
poop guy.
Billy. You're absolutely right. He is a poop guy.
But I've
He's
been
a hold up the group poop guy.
I've been pooping more often recently just because of that
Nice.
Jersey Jerry video because I don't want it to happen to me. I've been running to the bathroom all the
Oh
time.
yeah, no, I left the house today with my kids and I was like, I felt like I had maybe like a little something going. I was like, wait, I should probably take care of this now.
Yeah, it's better safe than sorry.
Uh-huh. So yeah.
Whatever, I'm a poop guy. My digestive system is healthy.
I don't think you can.
Yeah, I
control
mean,
it.
it does suck being the poop guy. Everyone's like, oh yeah, we gotta wait.
Oh,
'cause
it's
you're a
like
poop
PFT's
guy.
taking a shit.
Yeah.
It rarely happens. Though.
It's so much.
we
dude.
we just gave 4 examples over the course of 7 years doing this podcast.
But I don't think you have an example of anyone else.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
If
You're the
you
poop
were
guy.
gone, we
Jake.
would know. Oh, he's probably
Yeah,
shitting.
Jake's a bit way bigger
No,
poop
no,
guy.
no, no, no.
I've never
No,
run out
no.
in the middle of an episode. Never done that.
He's got weak bowels, but that's different.
I
Yeah.
think Jake's got great bowels.
Like if you went missing, everyone assumes it's because you're pooping.
Yeah, you're just pooping. You just forgot that you're pooping.
Like that one day that I came in at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, you're
I was
pooping.
actually just pooping the
Yeah.
entire time.
Exactly.
It's a correct call by Billy. You are the poop guy.
Okay, whatever. I'm a poop guy.
Okay. Billy. Jake. You have 2.
We're gonna go. We're gonna go first. You guys, you see that? Okay.
Oh,
You're
no,
up.
no. There's some.
No, I got
Is there
distracted
some
by the
dissension
No,
here?
no, I got distracted by the poop guy, and I didn't see what our 2-2 was.
So is this a
Okay.
Billy pick or is it a Jake pick?
It's
Or
a
a
new
Max.
Team game.
Or
I
Max,
thought.
yeah.
Why does it matter?
We all agreed on these picks. So your own wedding, being late
Okay.
to your own
Yeah,
wedding,
good
Yeah,
pick.
good pick.
because then are you standing them up like you're late? What were
Mm-hmm.
you doing the night before? Bachelor party gone wrong?
You get really
Maybe-
judged by everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Maybe
whole
you're just
family
stuck
knows
on a
you're late.
rooftop in Vegas.
Exactly.
Yep.
So it's always weird in movies because I don't think this ever happens in real life. But every movie that's about a wedding, they always have the bachelor party the night before.
Yeah.
Which is the worst idea that you can ever have. Nobody really does that, right?
crazy.
I want to know if there are any AWLs out there that
I think that's like an old back in the day.
I
I know
show
my
up-
dad did that.
I think it's guys
show up like
too,
sweating and yeah.
who don't have a lot of friends, so they're like, the only chance I can get anyone is to have them already be at the wedding. So like they play golf before, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
if you
They're
are someone
trapped.
who might not have a ton of friends and you're like, well, if I do a bachelor party and there's 3 guys here, it's going to be lame. So we'll just trap everyone and just make everyone go play golf.
Yeah, like there's always a guy in the group that's like, I don't want to go to the wedding, but can you invite me to the bachelor party?
Yeah.
And this is a way to trap them and be like, guess what? You have to do both now.
I
think it's
listen.
also a move that if you think that there's a chance that you might get cold feet, you have the bachelor party the night before, and then you have like you're more likely when you're super hungover
Yes.
to call it off.
Shout out, by the way, the AWL that I saw in on the way to Miami, boarding my plane. He's like 25, and he came up to me, he was talking. He's like, "Yeah, I'm going to my first ever bachelor party." And the twinkle in his eye, it was like a passing of the torch because I think this is the last one I'll ever go on. And he was so excited. He's like, "We're going to a club, we're doing this," and I was just like, I looked like I was going to fucking war. I was like, "Yeah." I'm doing the same thing as you, but I'm just not going to be able to recover.
One of the cruel tricks in life is the more excited you are to go on a bachelor party when you're young is when you don't have, like, not everybody has steady jobs and,
Right.
and good incomes when you're younger, and you're super excited to go on a bachelor party. Then when you get older and you can actually afford to do all the stuff that you wanted to do when you were 22, 23, you don't want to do that anymore.
Right. Yeah, I had a great time, but I also feel like hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next pick.
Max, would you like to announce it?
Ooh,
pass
big
the rock.
moment.
Wow.
Look at
Great
this
delegation by
teamwork.
Jake.
Yeah.
Awesome. I don't think that's ever happened, right, Max?
Yeah.
No, I'm just happy to be a part of a team that appreciates my my
Didn't
presence here.
Hank used to keep you in a cage?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Did he refill your bowl tonight?
We use his government name too.
Nice. Beautiful.
That's true.
It's very nice. We'll go with our third pick as flights.
Ah,
late to a
good
flight.
pick. Good pick. Being late to a flight sucks.
Costs you a couple $100 at the best case scenario.
Yeah.
A bunch of stress.
Even if you're on time for your flight, barely, but you're like late getting to the airport, that's almost worse. The stress that you have when you're in the cab on the way there and you're just thinking
100%.
you're doing the math, like, am I going to make it? Am I going to be late? And then you run through security, you're sweating, TSA holds you. They always check your bag when you think that you might be late for the flight, and then you sprint, and then you get on the plane and you're like the last person on the plane, you're out of breath. That entire situation is bad.
Or when you like, because you never know. Security lines are always like so inconsistent. There's no time where sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. It's just a complete crapshoot. So you're pulling up to the airport being like, I need it to be a small line. I need it to be a small line. And then if it's even half the size or like a full long line, you're like, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
But you still have to go through the line just in case. And then you end up having like 1 minute to sprint to the terminal.
Yeah, and you think you're going to be on time and getting through, and then you remember about time zones, and you're like, oh, shit, I'm an hour late for this flight.
I get a sick rush.
Going
when
back
I'm
there
late.
this weekend, we'll see.
Oh, nice.
Uh-oh. Careful. They changed the times. Careful.
I know.
All right, good pick. Our third pick. What do you think?
Let's see. I think that we take the one that I just told you about. We take that coming back because Hank's not going to take that one.
No, he's an idiot.
I kind of like. I like the one that we have on there.
The third?
Yeah,
I do too.
The third one's pretty good.
Okay. Calling a foul and pick up hoops.
No one likes that guy.
I mean, that's the worst thing you can be as a person. To call the foul after everything happens and then just be like, oh, you hit my hand.
Yeah, after the shot doesn't go in.
Yeah.
Have you ever called it early and then you get it in and they don't count the shot?
Like pre-crime.
No,
You're like, this guy's about to fall.
I don't call fouls.
No, but like you get fouled really hard, but you still go up and you call foul.
Well, that's
And
what you
then-
do.
I
You
know,
call
but
it when
then-
it happens.
Right, but then they don't give you the and one.
I like it when it's just obvious that there's a foul, and it's just like no one even has to call it. It's just like that was clearly a foul, or the guy who fouls calls a foul. But when you call a foul on someone after a play in pickup hoops, you are the worst person alive. Like, and it's like a 50-50 call or not even a foul. The worst.
Michael Irvin in longest yard against Adam Sandler.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. That was
Yep.
a dirty,
Foul.
dirty play.
Yep. Okay, Hank.
I'm going to go with my third pick, Court.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Imagine you get the stink eye.
Well, yeah.
it's got to
or
be tough.
Show up late. I'm sure the judge doesn't appreciate that. You're
Yep.
just screwing yourself.
You're in
Well,
contempt.
you end up waiting for so long.
Say what you will about OJ, but he always showed up on time to court.
It's true.
But when you
He
go
was
to
technically in jail, but
court, they just end up. You have to like wait for everybody else. Like court opens at
How
11.
many times have you been to court?
yeah, what?
It opens at 11. Like just court in general always opens at 11.
What are you doing here, Billy?
And what people are you waiting
Traffic
for?
court.
Traffic court.
Traffic court?
Traffic
What
court.
about other court?
Just traffic.
What time does that court open?
For citations and traffic violations? It's 11 o'clock. Speeding tickets. Speeding tickets.
Okay.
Speeding tickets.
That's it?
And then you go, and then you have to like wait for everybody else.
Right.
I don't know why anyone else would be going to court.
Right.
A lot of things. People go to court for many reasons.
Just speeding tickets.
That's it.
Yes.
Nothing else? Never?
I've actually never gotten any sort of criminal trouble.
You're knocking on wood. You can control that.
I know. I've only gotten traffic violations.
No,
But
but
you knock on wood when it's like, I hope I don't like break my leg.
Billy,
knock on wood.
Billy definitely thinks that at some point in his life he will be the target of mass framing.
Oh, yeah.
Where like the entire world is against him.
Happens to some people.
Like who?
Like, yeah,
Anyone
go
recently?
on.
Snowden.
Anyone recently?
No.
Okay.
Give Billy's due process, everybody.
Okay.
Okay, our pick is.
Wait, it's not your pick.
We got Billy so flustered. You're two
is
picks
it-
away.
Okay.
Yeah. As soon as we started talking about crime, Billy's just ready to commit to or admit to everything. All right, go ahead.
And then my final pick, I will go with a sports tryout.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what is your 4?
Your child being born, court, fantasy football draft, sports
A
tryout.
sports tryout.
Nice
That's an
Mount
interesting
Rushmore,
last
loser.
pick. Was there anyone like specifically you were thinking of? Because that seems like it came out of the blue.
No, I mean, I think because
Has anybody been late to a sports tryout?
I'm sure there's a lot of people that have been late to sports tryout. Obviously, the coaches, they want to make an example of someone.
Isn't that on your parents anyway? You should be like, my parents fucking suck.
Well, yeah, but maybe you're in college, you're trying out for a team, whatever it may be. If you're late for a sports trial, you're screwing yourself.
I'll stand up for Hank a little bit. There's nothing worse than being late to a high school football meeting.
Right, I'm
Because
just
like
saying.
the coaches,
yeah.
that's what they love is
But-
like everybody's 5 minutes early to my meeting.
I was
there is-
between that and showing up late to the first practice of the season because then you're just
That's pretty bad. Yeah.
But you can kind of make up for that throughout the rest of the season. Like that's always like the coaches almost like that because they can make an example out of you and then get better during the season. But you show up late to a triout, that might be the reason you get cut.
I was just saying,
some
though,
coaches are like that where it's like, well, he's good, but he showed up late. We can't have that on this team.
when you're a kid, though, there's definitely just all the kid. Like, there's always one kid on every team whose parents are just a mess and like, not mess like bad, but just they're always late. It's like, yeah, that's their parents' fault. So there's definitely a point where it becomes your fault, but for a long time, you can't drive yourself. So
Right.
Just,
If an 8-year-old's late,
yeah, right. It's not his fault. Right. Okay.
unless who's pooping.
Yeah.
Our last one.
I think I got my top 4.
We're gonna go
Great.
with.
They were
Yeah,
power ranked
interesting.
in like the 20s.
I wouldn't be bragging
by
about that
you
being your
guys,
top
once again.
4. For our last one, we're gonna go Mount Rushmore of worst things to be late to. A podcast taping after watching a lacrosse movie the night before. That would be a bad one to
Pretty
be late
bad.
for,
Pretty
hypothetically.
Pretty bad.
By the way, Fate of a Sport, that exact movie where we went to the after party, debuts on ESPN Plus today.
Well, be careful when
Today.
you watch it.
Monday,
It might be
Yeah.
August
It might
29th.
trigger you into getting drunk and missing your job.
To stand up for Billy on this one now, it might be like that movie The Ring, where you see the ring and then you die later. If you watch this movie, you might be late to work the next day.
Yes.
Yeah, so the show that Billy entertained clients afterwards is now available to you.
It
today
might
on
get you so
ESPN
hyped.
Plus.
Yeah.
Warning,
It's
this
like
movie
Entourage.
makes
Yeah.
you want to get drunk.
Yeah, so it actually was a fantastic documentary, and if you don't even like lacrosse, like it's cool to see how a league is created from scratch.
Yes. Agreed. All right, so everyone go watch it. Support our friend Paul Rabel. All right, last pick. Billy's thinking about, like, what crimes did I almost say?
I hope the court people.
Yeah, I hope the people who I go to court
Everyone
every
knows traffic court opens at 11.
every
because the
Tuesday.
The judge spends all morning like looking at actual cases and like meeting with like prosecutors.
But you also, I was talking about court in general, and then you just decided that because traffic court opens at 11.
because that's what usually people are going to court for.
Our last pick, it would be late if you were being the getaway driver while your friends were robbing a bank.
That's actually a solid pick.
Yeah, that is actually a pretty good pick.
Being late on your period.
All right,
Yeah.
good one. That's like a distant cousin of the pulling out one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, so I had that. I put that in our list. We went with the pull out instead because I thought about it a little bit. It's not always bad to be late for your period. If you're trying to get pregnant, it's a great thing. It might be like
True.
the best day of your life.
That's true. Finally did it. It could
Well,
go either way.
It's a real feast or famine. It's like Jim Thome swinging. Mm-hmm. You're either going to strike
And
out
I'm
or
done.
hit a 500 yard.
Let's see what
500 foot
young
home
male
run.
listeners think.
Oh, you think you're
18
going
to 35.
They
But
got a
wouldn't-
lot of periods.
Yeah, wouldn't pulling out be the
Yeah,
that's the one that
little-
the
You're
guy
right,
more relatable.
but I think people who knows?
Okay. Let's talk about what we missed. Did everyone else have other things we missed?
I had Jake's their first pick was kind of too similar, but like a work presentation because you can show up late to work sometimes. If you can sneak in or kind of get by, but if you're supposed to be in a meeting or something where you're presenting and you like they're expecting you to speak at, you'd never want to be late for that.
Yeah. I had a flag against your team. Like that's just the worst. A late flag.
Yep.
is
Or like
just-
the graphic being late.
Yeah, it just fucking kills you when it's like game over flag. Like if you're a Miami fan, in that
That's still too soon to
yeah,
say
that's
that.
still too soon.
Renewing a passport is bad
Yep.
because then you'll have to change vacation plans. We had if you're Adam Schefter and you're behind Ian Rappaport, breaking news on Twitter, then all his replies are just late. Rap Sheet had it first.
Being late to post like a viral video sucks because everyone's like, "Oh, dude, saw that? Like, I laughed so hard. Last time I saw it, I laughed so hard I fell off my dinosaur." And it's like you're 4 hours late to it. It's fucking worst. Like I could even sense tonight when we told you that Poe got hurt.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of you was like, "What the fuck?"
I can't believe I missed
Yeah,
that.
right. It's the worst. It's the internet has completely warped our brains. Like a fucking mascot got hurt, and your initial like natural reaction is like, "Damn, how'd I miss that?"
I saw it. Yeah, I saw it 24 hours later.
Right,
I felt
right.
it might as well be next month.
Right.
Or being like late to a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because someone makes it before you, and then they think you're copying.
Yep. If you're late to a cruise ship that's leaving after a day that they've dropped you off on like a day trip, and it's pulling away, and you know you're absolutely fucked.
Yep. Late to the train sucks.
Yep.
Miss it by a second. I had this one kind of specific, but like the kid who was late to learning how to ride a bike. That sucked for any kid who like was the last kid to learn how to ride a bike. There's always like one kid running by them or like on the pegs. It's like, dude, you just gotta learn how to ride a bike.
We had a practice led by Bill Belichick.
Oh,
Yeah.
good one.
Good one. That's why Gray got cut, right?
Yeah.
He slept in after he scored, 4 touchdowns?
It was 4.
I think it was 3 against the Colts.
He was on Sports Illustrated.
Yep.
Yeah.
A drawbridge.
Oh,
Yeah.
train crossing.
Yeah.
A movie. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not that, not top 4, but I showed up late to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, like 15 minutes late, and I missed the entire
Just lost.
flamethrower beginning. So when it happened at the end, they're like, oh, that was from the beginning. I was like, oh.
Yeah, you get like
damn.
15, 20 minutes of relief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
It sucks to be late to a game and have like some cool play happen.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
you're
when you're-
waiting, especially when you're like just late and
Yeah.
you get to your seats, but the usher's like, oh, you have to wait for a whistle or a
Yep.
timeout or something.
Like a goal in playoff hockey or a touchdown, and you're just like, what the fuck?
It would suck to be late if you were giving an order to send your tanks to reinforce your troops in Western France when an Allied invasion is happening. That would probably be a pretty big mistake if you were to make that one.
Shouldn't be late there.
No.
That's a fact. Anything else? That was a good Mount Rushmore.
Great Mount Rushmore all around.
I feel like we've had some good Mount Rushmores.
Yeah, Hank, you weren't as bad as I thought you'd be.
Yeah, you actually saw, like, maybe just you being by yourself fixed all of your attitude problems.
Yeah, you're a lone wolf.
Yeah, I mean, I told you, I'm a new man. I've turned over a new leaf. It's football season. I'm a sweet dick.
You did a great job.
Thanks.
It was a pleasure to be around you.
You guys did all right.
No,
you,
we
Hank.
we
That was
beat
good.
you.
No, just-
What was your guys'
We're
final
being
four
fake
again?
nice to him because we know that we won.
I think we got job interview, your own wedding, flight, periods.
Yeah, you guys might win. Jilly might win. Hank's not, but Jilly might win.
Hank didn't lose catastrophically.
No. He's just boring.
Wait, you
I
guys
fell asleep
who,
during
Who
his.
decides the who wins?
The people.
Oh,
Right. I fell asleep during yours.
so but you're talking about it like the results are decided already.
They kind of do decide who wins.
What?
Yeah.
Like,
Low
literally,
key, the
there's a
poll
direct-
decides.
There's a direct correlation to them saying, "Oh, they had a really good Mount Rushmore. They'll win," and who actually wins.
Should we
No,
do
this is Hank's show.
multiple drawings today in honor of the birthday
This
of
is-
the machine?
No,
We did 9 on opening day, August 27th,
Wow.
2020.
I'm down to do 2. How old is the machine?
2.
I'm down to do 2 for its
2
birthday.
official
All right.
counts.
Yeah, for its
Okay.
birthday.
maybe Hank will get one.
Yeah. Hank, have you gotten one?
I have not.
Oh.
That's crazy.
I thought
like
I did.
on your own show.
Wait, how old is the machine?
2 years.
2.
It's a lot. How many picks have we had?
I think someone DM'd me like 350 or something.
Wow.
Oh, okay. And there's
Hey.
how many balls? 350 in there?
I think they actually said
Oh, no,
it's
there's
actually
just
more
100.
impressive
There's
that Hank
99
hasn't
actually.
gotten it.
No, don't do that, Jake. Do not do that. Okay.
2.
69.
27.
26
57.
I think you should have to keep the same pick.
for both.
Yeah. We'll give Hank even a better shot.
57.
27.
26.
56.
What's your pick, Hank?
2.
I'm rooting for you, Hank,
Thanks.
to not get it right. 8. One more for birthday.
5th time.
For the birthday boy, the ball
Now it's a
machine.
1 in 99 shot.
Yeah, Hank.
Would this be a Mickey Mouse if it's...
Oh,
We'll definitely
obviously.
say that, yeah.
Obviously. 65.
Oh, wait. No. Oh, we got peach straw.
Wedgie.
65.
Does it count?
Yeah,
Yeah, it counts. It's a wedgie, but it counts. Love you guys.
A lizard native to New Zealand called the tutora has a third eye.
Whoa. The penis joke?
It's like a cyclops
You
joke.
addicted to penises? You got a penis problem?